Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Victorian Open Championships, our 2025/2026 UNCLOUD Victorian Open Short Course Champs with our first heat here this morning. My name is Chelsea Ryan, and joining me in commentary, I've got Tegan Mills and Sam Purvis. What are we looking forward to this morning, ladies?
Well, I'm looking forward to the 50 breast. I think that's going to be hotly contested. Also, the multi-class freestyle events, I think they are also going to be really hotly contested. We have two full heats in the women's and also in the men's we have two full heats, so that should be a really great race.
And what about yourself, Tegan?
Being a distance swimmer, I always love the 1500, so definitely looking forward to tuning in on that 1500 later this morning.
Excellent. Well, yeah, short course is upon us now. This beautiful day here at Albert Park. We are looking to begin. We have heat event number 3 to kick us off, the men's 100-meter butterfly. And here we go. This is heat 1 of 6 for our men's 100-meter butterfly. And leading the way, we have James Ward coming into that first 25.
Yeah, James Ward, sprint freestyler. He's been swimming fantastically at Metro Championships. He had the Metro record there for the 100 freestyle. Daniel Citravi's turning there as well. Excellent fly swimmer.
Yeah, really showing off those skills there, utilising his underwater. And that will keep him in the lead there.
And yeah, Hakuri Nakanshki leads the way now, over halfway mark here.
Yeah, looking really good. Looks like he's going to turn in first. 54.79, what a great heat time that is. Second, James Ward, 55.60, and then Daniel Citravi's 56.37.
Let's bring on heat 2 of the fly.
Okay, so heat 2 of 6 in the pool with us. So there are 6 heats this morning of our men's 100-meter butterfly. Now, because it is opens, we have a mixed age bracket here. So the youngest qualifier in this heat being just 14 years of age.
And just like that, that's 50 meters down. And we have...
Yeah, Dominic Sue there, turning first at 25.70. So he didn't turn first at 25, but he's there at 50. And at 75, he's keeping that lead with a 40.16. Great underwater there, nearly to the 15. He's going to bring this out on a 55.13. Second, Dimitri Sorokolotov, 55.40, and Riley Mitchell in third, 55.70. for speed. We're doing the over-the-top start, so the previous heat stay in the water until the start of the race. Eli Billman taking this out in lane 5. Excellent turn.
And Ewan Smith is giving him a challenge there already, knowing that they're going to push each other.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's stroke for stroke coming into this first 50 turn. I think Eli did a really great over the top turn there, but still in the lead. Ewan Smith from Furbank.
And he's been flanked either side. We've got Elson Lee in 3, and in 6 we've got Adam Alfany.
Yeah, those outside lanes. Tyler Theodore coming back really well. He does a 200 fly, so, but that's taking it out. 54.03, Ewan Smith. 54.94, Eli Billman, and third, 55.70, Elson Lee. We have a few young swimmers in here. William Cowler, 9 to 15 years of age. Gabriel Wong, 15, lane 5. And also Zayden Burton, 16, in lane 3, who had an absolute blinding country championship. So let's see if he can bring it in the city too.
Looks like there, Owen was the first onto that wall. Now I've had a good opportunity to watch Owen train because we train out of the same pool. So he's really been working on having a really great Open Championships. And he looks fantastic going into this first event with his 100 fly.
Yeah, outside smoker there, up in lane 1. Andy Martinov. He's really taking it out from Surrey Park. See if he can hang on.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Can he hold it? We've got Brian Wong in 4, who's steamrolling ahead at the end, coming down to that touch, and it was Brian with a 59.35.
Yeah, it's a bit hard when that piano drops from the ceiling. That's 25. I've had that happen to me a few times. It's like, oh, when does the end come in? Good lads.
Heat 5 now in the water. Like a blanket across the front, but it is in 5. We have Lamel Janasa from Nuttawatting, 16 years of age.
Yeah, Lamel, he's won quite a few age championships, so he's now at the open stage and showing great skills there. Really great skills off his dive and his turns.
Yes. Oh yeah, Tegan, I was going to say, what are you thinking at the halfway mark in the 100 butterfly?
Like Sam was saying, there are some really good skills on display here, and we can see how important they are in that 100 fly. Everyone knows the butterfly is a really tiring stroke, so utilising that fastest part of their race with their underwater is going to be super important to get them from start to finish here.
And look at, Max McKenzie.
Yeah, doing a great job there, coming through in that last 25. Got a little bit of a scoreboard malfunction there.
That's okay. The results slowly will come up. With looking backwards at one of the other heats at the moment up on the screen. But back into the pool, we'll be up with heat 6 of 6, and that completes our first event after this race.
have in lane 1, young up-and-coming swimmer Han Tang Wang. He has absolutely smashed the age records for his age, 13 years, in the 200 and 100 freestyle. So he's one to look out for, and he's in a number of events at these championships.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing a lot of known names in this last heat. You've got Aiden Ramos, who just touched in second there. Again, one of our younger athletes who had a fantastic Metro Championships.
Yeah, and it's amazing that we've got Hantang Wang in 1, 13 years of age, taking on in 2 and 3. We've got John and Jack, 20 and 21 years of age. But it is in lane 5. We've got Leo Nolan storming away up against Aiden Ramos in 8, talking about outside smokers. He's got less than 25 metres to go now. Let's see what comes at the end of the wall.
Yeah, the guy from G5, John Jurovic, he's got an unusual stroke. Oh, that was really close. Aiden Ramos takes it out and he gets under the minute. Good.
And as that wraps up, event 3, the men's 100-metre butterfly. Up next, we've got event 4, the women's 100-metre freestyle. It's our multi-class swimmers taking to the pool for the first time this short course.
Yeah, we've got a few country swimmers in here. We've got Ivor Dennis and also Mackenzie Gibbs. They've just had country, so they've got a little bit of experience close to this meet.
Yeah, and this is where our swimmers of all different classifications are within the same race, competing against the world record time, though we do have some directly competing against each other, with Ruby Halliday, S8, going up against Amanda Stelling in lane 7, also an S8 classification. And we've got a few S19 classifications in there as well, with Lisa Bale in 2, and Avea Dennis in 4, Evie Lee, and also Mackenzie Gibbs. So we'll see what they come up with at the end as well.
Absolutely. It's very competitive, that S19 category. It's great to see the numbers as well. We've got 2 full heats here.
Yeah, it's awesome. Today and across the weekend, we have 632 athletes.
Wow.
Here for our short course open champs. Yeah, it's so good to see. There's such a vibe already here at MSAC this morning, as our multi-class athletes, our girls, our women get up on the blocks, ready to go.
So kicking off event 4, our 100-metre freestyle multi-class. So these athletes are all competing against their world record for their classification. Not necessarily each other, but like Chelsea said, we've got a couple of head-to-head battles here, with 2 of our girls from the S7 category, 2 of our girls from the S8 category, and then quite a few of our athletes here from the S19.
Yeah, we're looking at some great technical ability here. When you see them, their arms entering the water, that's a great catch on the stroke. So they're looking very strong and very technically proficient, these girls.
Yeah, and it is Avea Dennis leading the way, S19 in lane 4. Just behind her, though, that just pushed off the wall, flanking her either side. We have Anna Layton, S14, and then also S19, Evie Lee in 5. And that was a strong come into the wall. Avea Dennis, 1:05.12.
Yeah, that's a great time. Just slightly off their PBs, but it is only the heats, and therefore they'll go for less points than their PB would have gotten, but that's fine for tonight.
A couple of our girls, they're from our country swimming clubs as well. So a couple of weeks ago, they were racing at country. So these PBs are super fresh for these girls.
Yeah, that's right.
That was heat 1 as we get ready for heat 2.
I've just seen Maddie Fox there in Lynette really psyching herself up. You've got to do that when you want to get a PB, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to bring that energy.
You do? I love that.
And the pool is now clear for heat 2.
Great reactions there from all the girls.
So our second and final heat in the water with us now. So again, a couple of head-to-head battles here with our S19 girls.
Yeah, it's good for them to get out there with the 100 free as the first event. You know, being able to sprint that and be quite confident. It's better than starting off with the 200. I would personally prefer
to manage all of that energy. I'm sure they've eaten a really hearty and healthy breakfast this morning.
Yes.
To get them started. And it is in lane 4. We have Mia Hogan, one of our visitors, 13 years of age, leading the way. Mia is classified S13. But coming up into that turn in lane 5, we've got Jessica Mandamot.
Yeah, lots of good swimmers come out of Albury, including Sienna Tui, who's the new star there. That's a good time, 1:04. That's a PB for her this morning. She smashed it.
Awesome. And then we've got Jess coming in, 1:10.73.
Yeah, third, Abigail Garbellini there.
Oh, there's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
There's a thumbs up as well from Jessica Mandamot over to the side of pool deck.
It's great, you know, they're so very supportive of each other because they do race each other a lot. And they build up quite a really strong friendships. Well done, girls. There's PBs there.
Event 5 now, the men's 100-meter freestyle. It's our multi-class guys into the pool, and a fantastic start by Samuel Rex from Nuttawading, 26 years of age, S15. He's blitzing this first 25 metres.
He certainly is. Look at him go out there, 12.08. He looks very, very strong. His leg kick, wow.
My saying has always been as a coach, if you can race a 100-meter freestyle, you're doing a pretty good job because you really have to treat it as if it's a 50. There is no slowing down in 100 meters freestyle, but it is 4 laps in a short course. So you've got double the amount of turns, double the amount of underwaters. So super, super tiring for these athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. But Samuel doesn't look like he's slowing down at all, and also James Logan looks pretty strong. He's going to be at the Deaf World Championships coming up, so this will be a good race prep for him.
Yeah, we were talking about race experience earlier and how crucial it is. So great to see our athletes being so competitive in our pool this morning. And yeah, Samuel, 53.07 that time.
That's pretty fast. Yeah, his entry time was a 59.18.
Yeah.
That's huge, 6 seconds.
Go Sam, that's awesome.
What did he get? I want some of his breakfast, actually. It's got to be porridge or something.
Bit of kick in it.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, yeah, James Logan coming in that second position there, directly competing against Sam, 59.97. Again, striking off a couple of seconds off his time as well. And then Mi Xing Pang in that third, 1:03.04. S14 for Mingzi, his classification.
I mean, that was fantastic. I mean, just go for it. If that's testament to just really giving it some in the heats, why not?
Hey, start the weekend off well.
Yeah.
As we come into the second and final heat for our multi-class 100-metre free. We're just standing down for a moment. So in this race, we've got a range of classifications. A couple of S19s, Joshua Briggs and Benjamin Wills. A couple of S14s, we've got Calvin Tran and James Sheil. And then S9, Hamish Keenan. S8, David Bale. And then in that fourth lane, we've got Dylan Logan, one of our visitors from Albany Creek, who is S15. Talking about the amount of athletes we have here this morning. We have even more entries, which is good to see. So not the first appearance that we'll see these swimmers in this weekend.
That's right. The multi-class swimmers do it tough because they actually do a number of events. They're pretty talented across pretty much every stroke and distance, and therefore they do have a big program.
Gosh, they work hard. Dedicated swimmers we have here. Dylan Logan in 4. And again, they're all racing against that time. So we did have our first heat, but it is still all about that time as we hit the halfway mark. Logan out in front, flanked either side. Hamish Keenan and Benjamin Mills. All three different classifications here leading the way. And in 6, we've got Calvin Tran.
Yeah, Calvin, he's been a stalwart of multi-class swimming from Oasis Otters. He's really trains very hard, even going to the pool in his off time to do his own sessions. So he's really, really dedicated.
Loves the water as Dylan Logan comes in with a 58.03. He's knocked off a second. Great to see. Benjamin Wills, 59.97. Third, just against the wall, we've got 1:04.82 for Hamish Keenan. And then Calvin Tran, 1:05.17.
Yeah, some good PBs, and Benjamin Willis getting under that minute mark for the first time.
What does it mean to get under that minute mark in these kinds of races?
Oh, it's just one of those, benchmarks. If you see a 5 there and you've been missing out, it's just such a great feeling to get under that minute. It's a real, for any swimmer, it's just in any stroke now, because obviously people are faster, especially for girls, 100 fly, 100 back. It's just that benchmark that you're faster than a minute from 100, which is a long way.
And now we get to event 6, the women's 200-meter IM. This is our first heat of 5.
So we have 5 heats in this 200 IM. Now these are circle-seated heats, so that means that our fastest qualifiers are going to be in the middle of this pool in these heats. So you're really looking for that inverted V shape across the pool. It looks like here Alana in lane 4 is taking the lead in that butterfly with a sub 30 times. So great first 50, which we were talking about those benchmark times before, and breaking that 30-second mark in those 50s really places you in with some of the top athletes in this competition.
It looks very comfortable, Alana Torrance. She's hardly opening her mouth to breathe, so even though she did do that 29, she looks pretty comfortable here this morning.
Now we have talked a lot about at Metros in our breaststroke being that make or break stroke. So it'll be interesting to see if it's one of Alana's strong suits or maybe a weak point for her where these girls behind her can close that gap.
And look at her now, Zaylee Schneider's in 3, trying to push it up as much as possible. On the other side, we've got Grace Dolby, but it is Alana Torrance pushing the way forward. Don't forget Lucy Ma as well in there. She's in the mix. She's now in 2nd position. I say that, and as soon as that happens, it changes. We've got Riley Cardro also in 7, but Alana Torrance still leading that way as she comes into the final leg.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for her to pull away even further, as everyone else is still doing breaststroke. But Lucy Ma has a fantastic technique on her breaststroke, and that's really shown. But Zali Snyder's is tough. She's recently changed from Geelong Swimming Club to Caulfield Aquatics, and yeah, she's really storming down this last 25.
Looks like it will be Alana that touches in first there with a 2:14.31.
I would say she looked comfortable there. That was a bit of a just glide into the wall, and looking up at the time, curious at where she was at. Her entry was at 2:12.
So she did have one of our faster qualifying times there by a significant amount. So I can imagine she's gone out that little bit slower in this heat swim so she can really bring it back in finals later on and then look for that PB.
Yeah, we're looking at around the 2:20. I think an under 2:20 to make the finals tonight. So, we just had a disqualification from Lucy Ma.
And that's a pity when you get a disqualification.
Yeah, it is. Still, it's always another race, isn't there?
There is, and there's a review with your coach. I'm sure a lot of lessons are learnt at those particular moments, more than if you didn't have a disqualification.
Yeah, that's right. And talking of being able to review, Swimming Victoria has the Hawkeye system, one of the most advanced systems in the world for being able to see the swimmers, what they do, and also be able to have the officials in the room reviewing all the footage. So,
and it's going out across the world, which is awesome, that technology here from our very own Victoria, our very own MSAC.
Yeah, they used it at the World Championships recently. So yeah, it's been invented here. So one for Victoria.
And look at Isla Ho in lane 2, as after that first 50, she leads the way. She's now into the backstroke.
Yeah, Isla, 17 from Ballarat Gold. And now Dakota Mather, she's quite experienced, even though she is only 19 years of age and looks very comfortable on that backstroke.
Infraction report for event 5, P2, lane 2, initiated a start before the signal. Event P5, P2, lane 2.
So as we've just heard an infraction report there, and sometimes it can be a disqualification before you even get in the water. If your foot moves on the block just a little bit, then that's an infraction. So it's starting before the starter's signal. And when you're nervous, you can have a little twitch, and well, it's unfortunate. Looking really great though, Dakota Mather. Second, Lucy Doyle, her teammate from Nunawading, and in lane 6, Jessie Steinman, also now from Nunawading. So this is a Nunawading 1, 2, 3, I think.
Particularly in the breaststroke leg, as they've now come into the freestyle where power really needs to kick in. This is when you start to feel tired. This is a huge race with so many different legs to it.
Yeah, so Dakota, well-known breaststroker there, so she managed to pull away that even more in that breaststroke leg, and she will touch him first there with a 2:19.86, but Lucy Doyle is closely following her with a 2:21.44.
And yeah, talking about how big of a race this is, the IM. How would you approach it? What would be your strategy if you were going to be swimming it, Sam?
Well, my strategy, I was obviously flying back with my strength, so I would usually try and take it out. Yeah.
So you would strengthen your strengths?
Yeah, that's how I used to try and, play to my strengths.
As this is heat 3.
But my breaststroke got better as I got older. I changed coaches and I did a lot more breaststroke. So, you've got to really try and hold your technique when you're tired. For breaststroke, it's a very technical stroke. And then freestyle, well, you've just got to hang on.
Yeah, and look at Judy Hassan Amain in lane 5. That first 25 metres blitzed it following her Manar Mafaz. What about you, Tegan? How would you approach this?
Yeah, a lot like Sam. I was never an IM swimmer myself, but I know I tell my athletes to really play to their strengths and weaknesses. So we always talk about that breaststroke leg being a make or break. So if it is one of your weaker strokes, definitely making sure you pull through in that fly and back. But if it is a breaststroke, making sure that you stand out from the rest with those underwaters, that fast turn, and then you can pull away even more in that freestyle leg. So it really is dependent on the athlete. So you'll see a lot of coaches today talking to their athletes based on individuals rather than a race plan just for the stroke or for the event. So all of these girls in the pool with us now will have sort of a little bit of a similar race plan, but there'll definitely be differences depending on their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, and look at how much, there's not a lot of movement here at the moment. As we said, the exciting part is the breaststroke leg, where if you're strong, you can hold out in front if you already have that lead, or this is where the gap is closed. And so it's Judy Hassan Amain from Surrey Park, known for their breaststroke, who is still out in front but closing the gap. We've got Michaela Larkin in 4th from Nunawading. Manar Mafaz is just behind her. And then in 6, Emerson Hogan. And in 7, I've got to mention as well, Keely enters. She is just hanging on to the end of that front pack.
Yeah, this is a great spearhead, so that circular seeding really playing out. So the fastest usually are in the middle lane, the yellow lanes to find here. Looking really great though, and holding her underwaters there, Judy, off that turn. Exciting that we have these girls really going for it this morning. Another under 2:20, so it's 2:19.93 for Judy. Michaela Larkin 2:20.84, so it's going to be around 2:20 to make this final, I would think.
Yeah, it was Dakota Mathers who was 2:19.86 that took out that previous heat, so really close around that 2:19 mark.
Yeah. A lot of youngsters in this next heat.
Yeah, this is heat 4 of 5. A fantastic start in lane 2. We've got Tori Claire looking also at lane 6 and 5. It's going to be between them for that first touch, but back to Tori actually.
Yes. Good on her taking that out. She must feel good about her fly.
So Zoe Jennings there definitely had the better of starts and underwaters, but she did have that glide into the wall. So we're looking at finishing on a whole stroke and nice and fast, quick transition with those turns.
And so speaking of the turns, we've just turned from the butterfly to the backstroke. What is the technicality of that one?
So you got to touch with 2 hands in that butterfly and then leave on your back for your backstroke.
And you've definitely got to get your stroke rate up from the butterfly because it's a double arm stroke into a single arm backstroke, alternating stroke. So you've got to try and speed your arms up a little bit off that turn to get into that rhythm for backstroke.
And so it is Zoe Jennings in lane 8 leading the way now as we've switched in. That turn has happened from backstroke to breaststroke. Following her, we've got Mia Huang in lane 5, and then up across to the other side of the pool as well, Arabella Scott in 1.
Yeah, they're all stretching out. It's great to hold that glide on your breaststroke, even though you are getting tired. It's trying to hold your technique. You've got your breaststroke, split stroke there off the wall, so that's a lung buster when it comes to the, breaststroke leg but it really does make you gain time. So it's well worth doing. It's much faster.
Yeah, how many times would the girls be practicing their turns in the pool?
Well, that's what I say to my swimmers. Like, they say, can we do turn practice? I say, well, you've just done about 160 so far in the session.
Attention to detail when you're already doing the laps.
Yeah, come on, guys, come on.
As we're in the freestyle leg now and looking very strong. We've got Mia Huang. Don't be leaving behind Tori Claire, though, in lane 2 in the bottom of our pool as well. They've got the chase neck and neck. But well done to Tori Claire. 2:29.53 with her time, followed by Mia. And then we have Ruby Moore, who got that 3rd position, and followed by Zoe Jennings in that 4th heat.
Yeah, getting under that 2:30, so she'll feel pretty good about a 3-second PB this morning. We have a visitor in lane 4, Mizuki Okamoto from Japan. Hopefully her family will be watching out for her this morning.
So this is our 5th and final heat in the pool with us now, the women's 200-metre IM.
Yeah, we do love our visitors coming and testing us in the pool as well. We love competition. We want our strength of competition to grow and grow, for our athletes to come against people from other different places and see what they can also do in the pool, as it is Mizuki Okamoto from Japan in that lane. Oh, sorry, apologies. It is Zoe Gant in 5 from Nuttawading, 15 years of age, leading the charge here at the moment. Very strong on her backstroke, and it's a blanket between the others at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly is. She's really striding out there.
Yeah, it looks like for Zoe, backstroke is her strong suit. So that transition from backstroke to breaststroke also being a really nice one there.
Yeah, she chose the back flip there. There's three different kinds you can do. You can do the bucket turn, which is touching and swishing your legs round, or the backflip, which I quite like actually. And then there's the crossover turn, which is the international sort of turn of choice. The Americans kind of, you know, they always like to push the boundaries, and that crossover turn came from them. And it is faster, but there's a risk of disqualification if you're not on your back when you touch on the backstroke leg. So people tend to, in the heats, maybe play it safe, and then if there's a chance that, you know, you might win and you want to push the boundaries, then the crossover turn would be a good choice in finals.
Yeah, we talked a little bit before about athletes having different race plans, so their coaches talking to their athletes, and, you know, about what their plan is going into this race. And it's interesting because Zoe there, she opted for that full crossover turn, but a couple of our other girls opted for that touch turn. So it really is playing to strengths and weaknesses there. It does look like it will be Zoe Gant who led us from start to finish there, and she will touch in first for 2:28.13. Fiona there in lane 7, touching in second with a 1:36.59.
Event 7, we have our men's 100-metre IM. It is their turn in the pool, and blasting out in front, we've got Callum Halloran-Laval from Nuttawading, 21 years of age.
Yeah, Callum's really great at his underwater skills, practices them a lot in training. And we've also got Daniel Citraves in lane 5, who's just done the 100 fly, so he must have quite a big programme this morning.
Yeah, I'm interested to see at the times they're going to come up against from their qualifying times to their heat times, and then bringing on tonight, this being our fastest heat. And there is no stopping Callum at the moment.
He looks very comfortable. I think he's backed off on that freestyle. Yeah, he definitely has. 56.18, very nice.
It's a confident start for him. And then in second, we have Kakru Zeno. It's 26 from Ivanhoe, 56.74.
Yeah, the guys have got a bit of an easier ride than the girls. They've got the 100 IM this morning, so...
Is a popular event, our second of 8 for the men. And just look at that pace they've got in the pool already. Like, it happens in a short course. It's 25 metres down, bang.
Yeah, it's 4:25 basically stuck together, because there's just no room for tactics really. You've just got to get out there and really go for it. And Ash Nichols, he had an absolutely blinding country championships. And Daniel Cave, see lane 5, his specialist event is the short breaststroke event, so you'll see him really come to the fore in that.
Yeah, so this is really an event for our sprinters, an additional one for our short course. So you can only race this event in short course season because it is the 425s. It's quite a battle between those middle lanes there coming down to the finish, but it looks like it will be lane 4 that takes out that heat. Ashley Nichols having a fantastic 100-metre IM.
And they're kept in suspense as the times are being weighted up on the screen here.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the boys will be like, what do we do?
And those times will count for that final tonight. It's already cool to see that competition, that little battle, as you said, Tegan. And it all began with Ash and Daniel, but there were the others around, so they're definitely going to be bringing their A game later on tonight.
Like we were saying about the fact that we've got the Hawkeye system, those times will be able to be backed up by that system. So even though they haven't come up there with the touch pads and anything, you know, we're safe in the knowledge that all the times are going to be correct, and those boys will get the times up.
I think this is one of the most exciting events with the 425s. It is so quick, as you said, Tegan, and only happens in short course. It is the fast and the furious here in the pool today. Still waiting on those times, but we'll probably be moving on to our heat 3.
Yeah, George Huang's in this lane 5. He's transferred from Surrey Park Swimming Club. He's now at Caulfield Aquatics. He's a really technical swimmer. Trains really hard. It's nice to see Mayan Baskar as well in lane 0. He's been around quite a long time. He's been from 12 years old. We've seen him competing, so he's nice to see him in lane 0. But wow, 11.58 under that 12 seconds to Will Sharp, and he is a backstroker, so he will be pulling ahead now, as you can see. Yeah, both boys taking the crossover turn, so George and Will taking this out. Wow, it's so close. Who do you think is going to get this, Tegan?
Looks like it is quite a battle coming underneath the flags now. Lane 5, George really giving it a crack. Looks like he will take it out there with a 56.93. Closely following him, Will Sharp with a 57.22. So really nothing in it between those boys.
There's quite a number of heats in this 100 IM. There's 8 heats this morning. Everybody choosing to get into that 100 IM.
So
Makes me feel like I want to get in, actually. That'll be a laugh.
we could have a sesh after the sesh.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have a heat 4 of 8 in the pool with us now. Looks like our outside lane 8 there, Owen, getting a fantastic start there with his butterfly leg.
Yes, certainly. And we've also got Han Tang Wang again in lane 3.
It looks like Kynan Power in lane 6, really trying to bring it back in that backstroke leg. He did just come out of that 100 fly before, so backing up 100 fly and 100 IM, so 2 sprint races, is pretty challenging, and he's taking that challenge on like an absolute champ.
Yeah, that is gutsy.
That's right. You've got to say, come on, get down that last 25. Taking it out.
And here we are as it gets exciting as we close in this heat number 4. In lane 2, Luke Stafford leading the way, collecting that first position in that heat. We'll check out the times. But also a great race by Keenan Power, Sanaa Geisler in 7 as well. Owen Kruger, good efforts to him too, as we'll be bringing you these times either now or a little later on, as I'm sure, as we have heats waiting to get underway. The guys are keeping warm It's always a little bit warmer here indoors than outside at the MSAC pool.
Yeah, it is. Yep. It's nice to be able to be in the warm of the indoor pool, but still when they get nervous, you still can be quite cold then. So usually they do wrap up, you know, with a big parka jacket on. Some people even wear like mittens, you know, to keep warm, yeah.
And yeah, those times will come later on as we move into Heat 5. It happens quickly, plenty of action in our pool.
Yeah, I've got two young guys in this heat, lane 7 Xavier Eagle and Swan Song from the Nunawading Swimming Club in lane 9.
And a brilliant start to Caden Del Zotto down in number 8 as they switch it up into backstroke in lane 6. Lamal Janasa taking that lead now. Look how beautiful that stroke looks as they switch into the turn. It happens just like that.
Really, yes, that backstroke, he had a beautiful head position. His head was right back, very nice.
And we can hear the crowd come up now. The coaches yelling go on the breaststroke leg from Surrey Park. Moving up, we have Thomas Greenwood in 5 and 3, 4, 5 now across the pool. It's neck and neck.
Yeah, I've got to say, you've got Matthew Golding. He doesn't want to let it go, but I think maybe, who's going to get it? Thomas Greenwood takes it out, 101.50. 101.66, nothing in it, 0.1. Matthew Golding in 3rd. Mitchell Davies, 101.99.
We definitely can say that he didn't give up. He wanted that time.
Yeah. And they had 1 or 2 entry times, so they've all like raced it out to get a PB.
What do you think, Tegan? Do you prefer to be the chaser or the leader?
I think just personally, I would like to lead in that butterfly and backstroke, and then it doesn't matter too much what happens in that breaststroke and that freestyle leg. But if you like living on the edge, definitely taking that breaststroke leg is what you would pick.
As we move into Heat 6 now, that is the first leg underway as we move into the backstroke. Beautiful turn in lane 7. We've got Owen Warnberger, and he's had a few races already this morning. And at the top of the pool, Oliver Salmon. Don't miss out on him as well.
Yeah, that's right. Owen from Lilydale Swimming Club. Oliver Salmon from Propulsion out in the west.
We'll be looking at Samuel Mills as well. MLC, 16 years of age, as he takes the lead in that huge glide into the wall.
Yeah, so we talked about our breaststroke leg really being that make or break. Owen took it out in that butterfly and backstroke, but it slipped away from him. It looks like it might be Oliver that touches in first there with a 101.93. Oliver putting together an excellent 100-meter IM there.
Yeah, that was a great swim from Oliver Salmon. He has taken 2 seconds off his personal best time.
Awesome job. Do you think that there's, a bit of mind games you tell yourself when you're on one of those real outside lanes, like 0 or 9?
Yeah, you think, well, they can't see me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to just take it out. You got a lane, you got a chance. That's a good thing. It's not like athletics where, you can draft off somebody, or open water swimming, where it's a more tactical, like you're in your own lane. So there's not really the chance for somebody to draft or anything like that unless they're right up against the lane rope next to you.
And it is Tyler Miet and Java Lay in 4 and 5 that are neck and neck at the moment. Lane 2, though, William Elliott. Is he going to get that touch on that lead? No, second position at the halfway mark. Some beautiful underwaters there.
Yeah, absolute blanket for some of those on that backstroke touch. So, yeah, this sorts the men out from the boys, as it were, the breaststroke leg. If you're not good at it, it's like crushing. isn't it? But for me, it was crushing.
There's a bit of a battle here in this last 25. We've seen that a lot this morning in this 100-metre IM. Lane 4 and lane 6 battling it out, but it will be lane 4, Tyler Meert, that touches in a 102.58.
Yeah, just talking about when you're next to each other. If it's freestyle, you know, it's like trying to keep the same timing as because you could see those boys there as they were coming in together. It was the same timing. If you can at least keep the same timing as the person you're racing against with your arms, there's a chance that, you know, you'll get there in the end faster in that last stroke.
As we just have 2 swimmers for heat 8. And it is Jude De Silva Smith and Keith Hahn. So Jude from Warrnambool, 17 years of age, and Keith, 15, from Oasis Otters. Regional versus the city. And Jude doing a nice job with his strength. He's got a bit of a higher pace rate with his arms than Keith.
Yes, he certainly does. And that's shown in that backstroke leg that his rating's been up. We talk about distance per stroke, and that's the kind of thing in breaststroke we're looking for. In backstroke, it used to be that, but now it's more about rating, especially short course.
Yeah, Keith there taking that lead in that breaststroke leg. That make or break stroke that we talk about. He will come underneath the flags in first there. He touches the wall with a 102.79.
Nice.
So under his entry time there. And then Jude touching with a 104.18.
Brilliant. Now we are back to our women. It is our Fast and Furious butterfly. It's only 50 metres. There is one turn in it. How crucial is that turn going to be for these girls?
Absolutely majorly crucial. When you need to really be able to know your stroke count, know how many underwater fly kicks you do in order to finish on a full stroke. Sometimes it can just, that close.
And we'll be watching Isabella Osborne in lane 4. And they're underway. She had her entry time of 26.91.
Yeah, that is the hard thing about the 50 fly. Long course, not so much, but you've also got a turn short course. So that, you know, finishing on a full stroke and getting your stroke count right is double jeopardy when it comes to short course fly swimming.
It's pretty close here between our lane 4 and lane 6 athlete. Looks like it will be our lane 4 swimmer that takes out that first heat. Isabella Osborne.
A great effort by our swimmers.
Heat 2 of 11 in the pool, away and racing. Now pretty even across this field in this first half of the 25. Looks like we are looking out for our middle lanes there.
Yeah, gosh, that was so close from lanes 2 to 6 in that first 25 metres. But yeah, we've come a bit more into that arrow in lane 4. Rihanna Chen blasting that one out of the water at the end. She's chasing that time, 27.60. Nicely done, followed in by Jessica Whiting. And then Courtney Mudge, 26.82, 27.95. do you reckon as an athlete in the actual water, Tegan, you blink and it's over? You're like, oh gosh, 27 seconds later, I can't breathe. Butterflies, oh, like, it's intense.
Absolutely. I think that as a coach too, you know, you're taking those split times, those stroke rates, chatting to other athletes, and then you just watch the pool and then it's all over within like those 26 seconds.
But it just means all those 1%ers are all the more important, as we've got Mia Yao in lane 4. She's being chased. Look at lane 7. We've got Abby Kearney as well. It's neck and neck between them at the moment. I think it's going to come down to that wall.
It looks like it will be Mia that touches in first with a 27.52, but Abby in lane 7 there having an excellent underwater in that second 25. Really pulled it together. It just wasn't quite enough, but had we extended the pool that extra 5 meters, I reckon Abby might have had it there.
I love that saying, because the thing is, the pool is never those extra meters that those athletes who are chasing want.
Do we want Janelle to come on? Maybe when it's the distance event?
Heat 3 away and racing, and it does look like it will be lane 2, Celeste, that touches in first there. Can she maintain that lead down this second 25? It looks like it is a little bit of a race between our outside lane there, lane 0 and lane 2. Lane 2, Celeste, she did lead us from start to finish there, and she will touch in a sub 30 with a 29.03.
Nicely done, and I love that visual when it's both of those outside lanes, because the middle ones we know that they're, you know, seated in those faster times, that they will be coming on in, but they haven't activated just yet.
We're always looking at those really nice PBs from those outside lanes, which is super exciting as commentators. We have Heat 5 away and racing. And what a fantastic start there from our lane 4 swimmer, Stephanie. And she will lead us into the second 25. Great underwater, really showcasing those skills from our experienced athletes. And again, she's led us from start to finish, and will touch in a 29.42. So that heat will go to Stephanie.
Wowee, we have a lot of heats here for our 50-metre butterfly. This is number 5 of 11. Sam, where do you think the demand for butterfly comes from?
I think the energy demand, it should be in the arms, really. You try and use the legs to keep that rhythm of your stroke, but yeah, it's definitely an arm-dominated stroke, yeah.
And look at Arabella Scott in 5 and Isaiah Fong Sutton in 6. As we said, this is when they activate at the top of our pool, even Evie Anderson in 1. But it is going to be our middle lanes with the fastest time. Isaiah with a 29.68, followed by Arabella 29.71, and then Alicia 29.97, and Evie as well, breaking under that 30-second mark.
Yeah, what a fantastic time there from Isaiah. Watched her race at countries, had some really good racing at countries, especially her relays, so nice to see her pull off an individual swim there. And heat 7 in the pool. And again, those outside lanes having an excellent start. Lane 2 there, Amelia will touch in first and lead us into that second 50, showcasing those underwater skills again. Coming under underneath the flags. Now it looks like she has led us from start to finish here, and she will touch in first with 29.37. So the only athlete to swim under that 30 time in this heat.
So there's the demand in the arms, Sam, but then how does an athlete be coached for the rhythm of the legs?
Yeah, I think really it's sort of body action, and it's how your body reacts. So it's a whipping action, so the legs come following in behind. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the whip of lane 3. We've got Zoe Jennings.
Yeah.
You can see as her feet just surface out of the water. But in lane 4, oh gosh, it's only by a stretch of her fingers at the moment. Tani Kavai, top of the pool as well. Mia Huang.
Yes, she's really going for it out there. Let's see who's going to spot that finish. Yeah, she did. 30.4, good girl.
There's many PBs that are being happening today.
Yeah, another thing about the fly kick is you must kick up and down. So it's that up action and the down action. And also keeping your feet in the water, because if they're coming out and they're in the air, they're actually doing nothing. So it's that work in the water up and down with your feet.
Self-awareness of you and the pool, as that was heat 8 of 11 as we're just preparing for heat 9. And here are our results from our heat 8 as we move to number 9.
And we are missing one of our middle lanes here, so it might mean one of our outside smokers from before can sneak into that final later on. Looks like that it will be lane 1. Elizabeth Mack having a fantastic start to that 50. And Holly Hembrow taking out that 50 heat 9 of 11 there. The 29.84.
But actually, speaking of sneaky, Sierra Kaufman, 29.57. No, not the case. Technological difficulties. Listen to Tegan, ignore me for that one.
Alrighty, here we are, heat 10 of 11. And it's quite a blanket at the top end of the pool there, from heat 1 down to heat 5.
Infraction report for event 7, heat 2, lane 3. Not on the back immediately prior to the finish of the backstroke section. That was event 7, heat 2, lane 3.
Looks like it's going to be lane 4. Yes, Lexi Freestone. Lexi from the Arab Plenty Swimming Club. Second, Jolene Lim, and third, Michaela Pistorius.
And so, Tegan, what does half a second even mean in this short race?
Oh, it's a huge deal, that half a second. I mean, at this level of swimming, we're really talking about taking points off rather than seconds off those PBs. So it's super important. Any PB counts, I say to my athletes, no matter how big or small.
So looking to make a PB in the pool here. We've got Mary Steele in 6, and in 8 chasing her, Aria Welts coming down to the line. In lane 3 also Lily Goodman really pushed up there, and it was Mary, Lily, then Aria. And that was our final heat for our 50-metre butterfly for our women's. And we go to a bit of a longer distance for our short course. We have up next in event 9, we have our men's 400-metre freestyle. 3 finals coming up, and they are timed finals.
So heat 3 is obviously going to be tonight, the fastest heat.
So anyone does have a chance. Though, as you said, we will finally know tonight with that heat 3, that time final within the final session tonight. In the water, we have Ashton Robinson from Luna Cheltenham Swimming Club. We have in 5, Lewis Kurtzberger from North Albury, one of our visitors. And in 6, we've got Mitchell Wills, 27, from Melton.
Yeah, the Kurtzbergers are quite the swimming family. So there are brothers. So you might see quite a few Kurtzbergers in this Open Championships.
Now it will be really interesting here to see if our more experienced athletes can showcase a bit more of their skills here, as we do have our 2 younger athletes being only just 16 and 15 in the water, but our lane 6 swimmer is 27 years of age, so racing for that little bit longer there.
Well, yeah, Tegan, what would you say the average age you think of a swimmer that's going to be entering into competitions such as Opens? What do you think that average age would be if this is an outlier?
Yeah, look, I coach a really junior dominant program, so Opens is a little bit of a new one, but something I have been surprised with is how many younger athletes are making that qualifying time. I've always said those 12 and 13-year-old girls are really out to get you at the moment, so they are pulling out some incredible times, and we are seeing them race at Opens today, so it really is a mixed bag of age groups with those athletes. So you really expect to see older, more experienced athletes, but those young ones are really pulling it together. I think COVID really, I guess, upset everyone's training and rhythm with these competitions. So I think now we're kind of just seeing a whole new, different type of swimming at these championships events.
And it could be also that after that time, the opportunity to fall back in love with swimming as well, so back in the pool at an older age. So at the moment, speaking of age, it is our young'un at 15 years of age. It is Lewis in lane 5 that really is taking this one by storm. He's looking really comfortable. What do you see, Sam?
Yeah, I think he looks very, very comfortable. His legs are still kicking, but it looks like just following on with his arms. And he's just breathing every 2 strokes, keeping the oxygen in. Yeah, he looks very comfortable. His brother actually will be in this afternoon's timed final, Oscar Kurtzberger. So he probably does. They do train off each other, I would imagine. But it'll feel good for him to be out in front. But then at the same time, he'll have to be looking up at the clock on the big screen to see where he's at. That's always helpful when you're MSAC like this, and you can have a sneaky look up at the board, see where you are.
You think, let's just confirm this, you think from the pool that you definitely can see the numbers that are on the board?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, definitely. Especially, you can see he's breathing to his right. You'd be able to take a sneaky look back at the board, yeah.
I'm impressed.
And you have time in events like this. You wouldn't if you were doing the 100 free or something, you know. But in the 400 or the 1500, it's nice to know how you're going. You know, and some people are that good that they do work out their splits in their mind, and so they look at what 100 they've done and they can do the maths while they're swimming along.
Well, you do have time in that case.
Yeah.
But it is Lewis who's looking very nice and comfortable at the front as we're in the final quarter of the swim itself. Mitchell steaming along. Really nice kick to him, and then following along Ashton in lane 3.
Having raced a few 1500s myself, I'm quite a fan of these distance events, and looks like Lewis has pulled together a really nice 400 there with a 4:08.15.
Yeah, that would have nearly got him into that final heat for the finals tonight.
He has dropped a significant amount of time from that entry time, so he should be absolutely wrapped with that leaving this heat.
Yeah, nicely done for our first heat timed finals, as we mentioned, as we come into number 2, heat 3. That will be in the finals session tonight.
These boys are in the 18 years age group, and some of them will be in year 12. It's nice to see that they're doing a distance event and they're keeping up their training, even though they'll probably have their studies. And that's another thing. When you're a distance swimmer, you've got a lot of time to think, and therefore you can go over what you need to study. And also it's good for the mental health to be still training and you know, keeping the stress levels down by getting that stress out in your training sessions.
So Sam, how many hours do you think that these guys would be doing in the pool to be looking at this kind of event?
Oh, I think about 20 hours, 18 to 20 hours, something like that. Yeah, for distance swimming, it's always been a case of, you know, you have to do the meters in training. For the shorter distances, when you've got people like Cam McAvoy, they're doing the new type of training for a 50, a lot of land work, not so much in the water. But he did put in this kind of work when he was younger, and it's paying off for him. And so he can do that shorter type of training now he's older. But yeah, you really do have to do the meters. And these boys, you know, it's a kind of horses for courses. You know, when you get into a race like this, you can settle in. 100 freestyle, you've got no time to be settling into anything. And so, you know, if you are the type that likes to settle into your race and get rid of your nerves over that first 100, then a more distance event, you know, it's... and people should really... kids should try different events. 400 freestyle's not scary. 200 fly, people say, oh, you know, it's a scary event. Well, it's just a bit swimming at a different pace over a different length of time. So, yeah.
And training for it as well, so that structured training, particularly for those events. Give it a go. Also, there's got to be an enjoyment factor in that as well. That is the 200-metre mark halfway through, and Callum Risotto has been impressive. He has led from the very start. He's really set that pace. So that 225, 216 is where he's at. Peter Baran's really hot on his tail. He's keeping his arms just at the tip of his toes. And looking at the top of our pool in lane 1, staying put, Matthew Moran, don't count him out at this stage either.
I think here going into a 400-metre freestyle, you're seeing a little bit of a different race plan to those 50s. So these athletes are opting to breathe every stroke, maintaining that oxygen over a longer period of time, rather than rushing it, head down, no breathing, fast arms, fast legs.
And what do you see, Tegan, with the kick for these guys out here in the pool?
I think they'll start to bring their legs in that last 100 metres. I think at the moment, like, they'll let them drop off. Legs are going to get super tight in a 400, especially in that third 100. So it's really who's experienced enough here to kind of pull it together for that last 100 metres, but not drop off too much that the gap becomes significant in that third 100.
And that's what Matthew Moran in lane 1 has moved into that second position. He is now hot on the heels of Callum Risotto in lane 4. Peter Behrens still there, and that's who Callum can see at the left corner of his eye. And Sam, would he be watching?
Yeah, they'll be eyeballing each other. They'll be able to see each other. You can see Callum's looking over at Matthew and he's looking back. So Callum probably feels quite confident down this last 25, so he is breathing to his right-hand side, his favoured side. But yeah, definitely Matthew's bringing those legs in. That's a good finish. So Callum wins that 4:06.88. But Matthew must have done a huge PB there to get a 4:07.42, and third Peter Behrens 4:09.79.
Yeah, that was an excellent effort by Matthew Moran. So 4:06.88 from Callum Risotto is the time to beat tonight. We do have our fastest times final, which is in the final session, but it's always good to be leading out in front.
Yeah,
in the morning time. As we now move into event 11, which is our 50-meter butterfly for our multi-class men's athletes. Heat 1 of 2. In the pool, a great start from Dylan Logan, who is S15 from Albany Creek, 22 years of age, and he's looking quite powerful in the pool as he knocks off 25.
Yeah, I'd say there he definitely had the better of starts off that block with an incredible dive. Now those dive starts are a really tricky one. Like we said before, we had a couple of DQs for wobbling on the blocks, but looks like he's led us from start to finish there, and he will touch the sub 30 significantly with a 27.34.
Yeah, excellent to see. And then coming in, Ni Xing Pang in that second into the wall, and then Calvin Tran in that third. As we know, though, it's not just about touching that wall at the end. It is about their world record time that they will come up against individually in their classifications. And so Dylan, who did hit that wall first, yep, S17, and we had a range of S14, S19s in that race itself. Here we go, though, coming up, Heat 2. Again, a range of classifications with a great start there by the 3 lanes across the middle of the pool. Coming out, Logan James, who's in the pool earlier. Most of these athletes were S15 next to him. Benjamin Wills, S19, and Andrew Din as well, S19 either side. So they're versing each other just behind Logan James. Looking very nice and strong underneath the flags. There's no stopping him now. It's all about that time. 29.58. Well done. Followed by Ben, 31.53, and Andrew, 32.34. They provided a nice little battle. Then we had David, Aaron, and Athen following in. And that is as quick as it happens here for our 50 metres. Well done to our men's multi-class athletes. As up next, we have event 12. We're moving back to the women 200-metre backstroke. As we prepare to get those ledges in. Looking just here on our screen, you can see up the top there, remind us who they were, Tegan, our nice and bright yellow-topped athletes and coaches.
Yeah, so you've got your Ballarat gold team in the yellow up there.
And it's a great view to have from the top of the pool.
it's great when you're a coach, you can look down at your athletes and look at their technique going from above.
I love it for photos. My dad used to always stand up there and take photos of me, and I've got them framed on my wall now.
That's awesome. Yeah, there'll be so many photos being taken today. Please hashtag Swimming Victoria. Tag us in on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are. We always love seeing what's happening around the pool and up in the stands. And what a vibe it's been today as well here at MSAC. I mean, a little bit chilly for a winter's day outside, but we're in the warm oasis of the indoor pool. And yeah, lots of people up and about above us today.
Yeah, it's packed here for the heats.
Awesome support for our swimmers, like it really shows. And thank you also for joining us here on our live stream. It's great to have you all watching in, on family, friends, even competitors. Hello to everyone else in the other states watching in as well.
And from around the world, maybe. Yeah. After all, we are a powerhouse of a nation, Australia, in swimming.
And we were talking about our visitors that we've had through our heats here this morning as well. It's great to have people all over from the state and different countries bringing up that competitive level. And also having the opportunity, this is quite an incredible pool we have here at MSAC. The facilities are quite incredible, and our Swimming Victoria team, our officers are here as well, which this event wouldn't happen without them, as well as all of our volunteers and technical officials who are making sure that everything is good to go down on pool deck after moving into backstroke and the backstroke ledges. But Tegan, can you share a little bit about the backstroke ledges with us?
Yeah, look, they're a little bit tricky for our country swimmers or our smaller clubs, because they kind of only really see them when they get to MSAC or they get to their big championship meets. So a couple of these swimmers won't have too much experience with backstroke ledges here.
And so how do you get used to it? I know they've got little grippy bits that are on the bottom that allow you to push off the wall.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a slice of cheese, like, you know, and there's a bigger bit at the bottom so that you can kind of get the pads of your feet and your toes kind of over the edge.
As you can see, they're all doing it now. And then coming off those backstroke ledges and on the pads, Sam, what are you looking for in the arch of their back? Are you looking for something high or something low?
Well, usually now, instead of pulling yourself in, you kind of pull yourself up and keep your back straight. And yeah, it is getting over the water, but not too far over the water. You don't want to be going up to come down.
Yeah, I think with those backstroke starts, you've got really two options there with your hand placement as well. You can either hold the outside of the blocks or the inside. So a couple of our athletes there you would have seen held the inside of our blocks, and then the rest of our athletes holding the outside. So it's really based on preference and where you are strongest in that backstroke start.
And that is only just the first element of the beginning of a 200-metre backstroke race for our girls. As we're just about to come to that 100-metre halfway point, it is Abby Kearney leading the charge here. Either side, Kira Jeffs in 3 and Mia Holler in 5. And so Mia from NWD. But yeah, Abby looking nice and comfortable. If anything, I believe she's going to extend her lead.
Yeah, Mia Holler, she's used to be here in Victoria, but now is training. She's a visitor from Norwood in South Australia. But Abby Kearney looks very, very comfortable. Mia's coming back very well on this third 50. But you've also got to watch out for Kira Jeffs. She's in lane 3, just turning now. And she's a young swimmer that has really made a lot of inroads. Now swimming for Nunawading and still only 14 years of age.
Now you'll see athletes do one of two things here. They'll either drop off on their legs and have a little bit of a rest period here, or they'll make their move in this third 50 and really try and pull it together for this 200.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Mia is not giving up on Abby here as she's slowed down those legs just a little bit as she's come into the wall. She's had it all 2:12.70. Looking good for that final tonight. She came in with just enough time underneath that. But Mia ready to take her on again. Kira Jeffs coming in well. And then following we had Nicole and Claire.
Yeah, the Vic Open record is a 2:03.14 from 2013, held by Belinda Hocking. So let's hope somebody can get down to that time. All right, we're into heat 2 of 4. Michaela Larkin, great start there from her. Takes on a lot of the big events, takes on some of the distance events.
So kicking off heat 2 of 4. The women's 200 metre backstroke. That's pretty even across this first 50. So it's kind of anyone's race at the moment.
Yeah, it is down here in lane 8. We have Sophie Ryan from Warrnambool, 15 years of age, head back. She's taken it out as well as lane 3, Madison Cooper. Madison is from the Melbourne Swimming Club. Seems to have a really nice rhythm going, coming up to the 100 metre mark. And 200 back, it's trying to keep that rhythm of your arms, staying off your legs, because yeah, your legs really take a beating in the 100 and 200 back.
Yeah, by that third 50, everything's burning, and it's going to really take a lot to bring it home for these girls.
Yeah, it's really hard in backstroke, even though you can breathe a lot. You can sort of hyperventilate, and so they really do have to try and control their breathing.
Michaela there having a great race with this backstroke, really putting together an excellent race plan. Lane 3 here, Madison will lead us down this last 25.
So she just went 18 for that 25. So she should get under the 220 pretty well. .216.06 from Madison Cooper. Michaela Larkin 2:17.21, and Lucy Marr came through storming down that last 25, 2:17.50 to make up for that disqualification she had in that medley. She's quite the all-rounder, Lucy Marr.
So we're about to get heat 3 underway. A couple of swimmers missing from this one. That's okay. It is what happens in the pool for our athletes that are present. In lane 6, we've got Alexandra Skinner. Fantastic start from her in that first 25 metres, followed by Jessie Steinman in 4, and very close to begin, Olivia Bailey.
Yeah, Alex Skinner had a great Metro Championship, so she's trains really hard and consistently, so she'll be able to take this out and hold on, I think.
Yeah, Alexandra Skinner looking nice and comfortable. She's just got Jessie Steinman coming up to her as they've knocked over 75 metres. Sam, what do you think their race plan would be to manage this 200?
I think they want for tonight to be in a centre lane for backstroke, because you can't see where the athlete your competition is unless they're right next to you, because you can't move your head and you shouldn't be moving your head around and looking. I think it's best to get in the centre lane, so I think that's what the girls will be going for, if that's the tactics. 200 backstroke, yeah, you have to kind of stay off your legs. You can't really take it out too hard, otherwise you really pay for it down that last 25. And when your legs start to hurt on backstroke, you get a sort of stuttering action of your arms, your timing kind of goes. So, yeah, it's really beneficial to not bring those in too soon.
Yeah, because we're now at the 155 metre mark. Alexandra Skinner, who has led from that first 25, still is in the lead. Sarah Cooper in 5 will be giving her a run for her money as much as she can in this final 25, but is it enough? Stroke by stroke we are going to see, but no, it is Alexandra looking very confident, and particularly that final 10 metres, as much as Sarah gave it a go. 2:15.19 for Alexandra, and Sarah 2:15.93. Fantastic times. 2:23.80 for Olivia Bailey, who came in 3rd in this heat.
They should be well into that final, those girls in the centre lanes.
As we move into heat 4, our results just from that heat up here on the board. I love all our little icons of our clubs there as well. Our club's doing a fantastic job. All a big swimming community here as we go into heat 4. 2 swimmers it is. We have Grace Cox in 3, 16 years of age from MLC, and Lucy Woolard, 19 years of age from RND, and it's going to be their own little swim off here.
Yeah, so awesome underwater there from Grace. She's going out nice and quick here. And she maintained that for a whole 200 though. We did talk about how our legs and our arms start burning in that third 50.
And is it a good burn? That's the question.
It's always a good burn.
Introduction report from event 8, heat 8, lane 0. It did not break surface of water at what we call 15 metre mark after the start. That was event 8, heat 8, lane 0.
And so Grace is still leading the way at the moment. Tegan, do you think there's a difference between fitness and how it feels in the body, on land versus in the water? Because, 200 is where you're pushing that fitness for these athletes at this age. How would the girls feel in terms of growing their fitness, doing those laps in the pool, being able to execute a 100 metre versus a 200 and going further into further distances?
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different kind of training. I always say that you have to train double the distance that you're racing. So if you're training for a 400, you're training 800s in training. So
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So lots and lots of laps for these distance swimmers. So these girls are definitely super experienced at these 200s in training.
So the 200 is the gateway into the distance swimming.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing now 200s become more of like a middle distance / sprint event. So it used to be one of those, oh my goodness, it's so far to swim, and now we're seeing more athletes take on that challenge and really pull together a nice 200.
So that's a perception change almost. I mean, like you would adapt training towards it as well. With there's always new exercise science research publishings coming out as well. That all of our coaches are all over as we're looking towards the finish line at the moment. 2:21.40 it is for Grace Cox. Well done to Grace. Lucy Woolard is following. Let's check out her time. 2:30.50. Good job to the girls.
Here we are at event 13, the men's 100-metre backstroke. James Lewina, lane 4, fastest entry time. He's from MLC, 19 years of age.
And yeah, Alanka Perez is doing fantastically at the moment at that halfway mark. Got to feel confident when you're out in front at the halfway. But we're watching Aidan Gleeson. He's in lane 2. And also Ethan Ravensdale in lane 3. It is kind of neck and neck between Aidan, Ethan and James, 2, 3 and 4 at the moment. But Akalanka looking very nice and strong as he's going to finish this race. Keen to see his time. 56.16. A little bit slower than his qualifying, and same with the other boys here. But again, this is the strategy and the tactic towards the finals here tonight.
Yeah, Akalanka, he swims for Sri Lanka. He used to train at Cheltenham, now he's moved to Warrnambool. So quite a long way from Cheltenham, Warrnambool. It's right at the other end of the Victorian spectrum. Lovely part of the world. We've had Anthony Basunas in this heat 205. Anthony has represented Australia at the junior level. Fantastic start from lane 5 and 6.
Yeah, Dominic Sue looking to take Anthony on.
Oh, he has. If you've got great underwaters, it's absolutely imperative to use that as one of your strengths in these backstroke events. You can see how they actually push off the wall, they push down to get deeper, and then they body dolphin up to get that speed as the water gets shallower.
And particularly in short course, it is about the turns, it is about those underwaters and making sure you're maximising that turn and underwater time, because you're spending so much time across the entire race, in that position.
Absolutely. I think maybe just that's taken its toll, that oxygen debt on Dominic, but it's a gamble you have to take. So the winner there, Will Sharp, 56.22.
Yeah, all around that 56 mark, and that might be almost a little bit scary for that heat 1. Because it was only Akalanka that hit at that 56 time. So be watching. There'll be a lot of those heat 2 boys here into the final tonight. In saying that, bring on heat 3 as well. A few of these entry times are around that 53 for Callum and Lavelle, 55 for Sebastian Christie Crane. So I think anything could happen now in this final tonight.
Great form on the wall from those middle guys. Xavier Purcell in lane 3. Nice straight back for them. And they're really out fast.
I'm really loving those backstroke starts from our boys. It has paid off down this first 50 for our lane 4 swimmer. Callum will lead us into this next 50.
Wow, that is a fast 50, right? 25.85 for that first one. Let's see the matching of that time. Normally, that's a fast beginning. Keen to see where, as we said, we're aiming for around that 56 mark to get into that final tonight, according to Heat 1 and Heat 2.
And playing to those strengths there, Callum, utilising those underwaters, and it looks like he will touch in first with a 54.25. What an incredible swim there from Callum. A great time.
Yeah, that is guaranteeing him into the final tonight. 54.25, and same with Xavier Purcell, just in that second position in that heat. 55.33, 56 as well. Sebastian Christie Crane, that's got him in with 56.19, and we'll have to wait for the remainder for the others, because the winner, Will Sharp, of that second heat was at 56.22.
Yes. It was a great heat for the third heat.
And heat 4 away and racing. Pretty even in this first 25 so far. Again, our middle lane, lane 4, Campbell Mills. Looks like he will lead us into this second 25. Campbell, another one that had a great Metro Championships. No doubt he'll have a couple of events this weekend at Opens as well.
Yeah, particularly on that turn there, he's done well. And look at the underwaters from lane 7, Enrico Vagaris. Really making the most of that. From Propulsion is the club that he is from, but all eyes are on Campbell Mills from Ivanhoe. 14 years of age. It's between him and Enrico at this stage. Let's come into the wall. Enrico really trying to push it, but Campbell Mills with a time. We'll get to you. We'll be back. We'll be right back with that time. The scoreboard has not come up with it, but then Patrick Debrati, Enrico are in the mix there as well. And when you said that he will be back, with our 632 athletes, Tegan, we've got 2,042 entries. That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, some of our athletes having a huge program. I mean, we watched Kind and Power back up 4 races this morning in less than 2 hours.
That's fitness. We're talking about fitness. That is fitness. As we move into our final heat for our men's 100-meter backstroke. As we're just standing down with our 3 swimmers. It is heat 5, not what is up on your screen. Our 3 swimmers are Harry Kilgaris in 3 from Bayside, 13 years of age. Oliver Salmon, 4 from Propulsion, 19 years of age. And then Jude De Silva Smith, 17 years of age from Warrnambool. That is 3, 4 and 5. And there was just a pause for reminding our excited crowd, no flash photography.
So in lane 4 we have Oliver Salmon. Oliver had a great 100 IM, came through on that freestyle leg, so let's see how he goes on this 100 backstroke. Jude De Silva Smith from Warrnambool. They're having a great meet so far, the Warrnambool swimming team. Taking this out really well, he means business. Looks like he's under that 30-second barrier. So he looks like he could be on for beating his qualifying time of a 1:02.04.
And we have seen so many PBs today. It's been super exciting, particularly coming out of our lower heats as well. So this is heat 5 and 5, and it's all about you versus you at the end of the day with that time, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That was so close, that turn at the bottom end there. All their feet were on the wall exactly at the same time. But it's Oliver Salmon comes in through again in that final 25. All in 101s. That's PBs for everyone all round in that heat. Well done.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Tegan, how would you celebrate a PB?
I used to love a cheeky little Macca's on the way home.
What was your meal?
Always a cheeseburger. Has to be a cheeseburger.
We do love a cheeseburger. Now, these girls are ready and raring to go. It's event 16, our women's 50-metre freestyle. It is fast. We are here already in lane 4. We've got Najia. She is leading out in front. She is half an arm.
So a little bit different from our distance events. It will be head down, arms fast, legs fast from the start to the finish. Looks like it will be lane 4, Nazia, that touches with a 26.06, taking out that heat run.
Yeah, Brooke Miles did well, coming in that second position. And then we had Mia Yao in that third. All around those 26s. That's what these girls will be aiming for here. Heat 2 underway. We've got a range of ages here. This one is 15 plus, up to 20 years of age. We have Charlotte Fay in second, in lane 2 from Caulfield. But it's our 2 middle lanes. In lane 4, Alana Torrance, we've already seen her display some amazing swimming this morning. She's going to take this one out. 26.16 for her, followed by Alexandra Skinner, 26.38. And Zara Olawanyi in a 26er as well, 26.63. So again, all looking at those finals tonight.
Okay, we're in heat 3 here. Jessica Wilson in lane 4 has represented Australia at the Junior Pan Pac Championships on backstroke. She turns first in a 12.6, which is pretty fast getting out there. She looks very comfortable to be winning this heat. She comes in, no breathing, under the flags, 26.12. Very nice from Jessica Wilson. Second, Kira Jeffs, young up-and-coming Summer, and third, Gabrielle King.
Yeah, wow, you have to be in that 26-second time mark to be making the finals, and it looks like it's going to be a mix of heat 1, 2, and 3. Let's check it out if it's going to be heat 4 as well.
Heat 4 in the water. Now again, pretty even over this first 25. Looks like it will be lane 1 there. We love when we see our outside lanes doing really well here. Looks like our Surrey Park swimmer from lane 7 isn't letting her get away with it too quickly though, but she will hold on in lane 1 with a 26.95. Taking out heat 4 of 8.
And she's just almost taken a second off her time. Whelan Trong in that one. PB, will it be enough for the finals? I am not sure if 26.95 late in that points is going to make it for you. Official times will be up later, as it's now heat 5.
Yeah, it seems to be all at that top end at the moment. We're going lane 1, I think turning first. Chloe, who, well, no, actually 5th, but we've got Lucy Doyle, who's already been in a few events this morning. Swimming very well. And she takes it out in a 27.51.
Like it is our middle lanes to watch here. Lane 6 gets her legs on the wall slightly quicker there. Mary Steele is quite the battle underneath the flags here. We've got 3 of our girls. It looks like it will be lane 4, Vera, that touches in first with 27.58.
And it is quick. This is heat 7 of 8. A few more of our younger girls in here. There's a few 13-year-olds from Amelia, Arabella, and Zoe, 3, 4, and 5. But leading out here at the moment, yeah, we have Arabella, and also be watching in lane 7, Matilda Clark. Some fantastic race experience these girls are getting here in the short course pool at MSAC. Bottom of the pool is also one to watch. We've got Ada Yixin Zhuang, and she has hit in that first position for that heat. A beautiful job. She swam 27.36.
Heat 8 here of 8. Fastest entry, Emily Cardamone. But first, we have turning first, Ruby Kender. Ruby from Ivanhoe Swim. Anna Orelli. We do have a swimmer in lane 9 that obviously was a time trial. from Bayside Swimming Club.
And that was our 50-metre free for our women. Now it's back to the men. 200-metre breaststroke. First heat of 3.
Yeah, Daniel Cave, he took out the Metro Championships. He has a beautiful technique, Daniel.
What do you love about it?
He holds his glide so well. There isn't a lot of splash. His kick, he has a whip kicking action, so not too wide at the back. But also his timing, he has such great timing. And as you can see, his arms sweep around with quite a wide first bit of his pull. And that's what you need. You need to have that wide sweeping action, and then going down and sweeping down and back up again, and he just does it so well. It's a bit of a masterclass in breaststroke swimming. That is Daniel's superpower, his technical ability.
And looking beautiful with his stroke next to him as well is Kakaru Zeno, and I'm also watching at the top Xavier Eagle in 2.
Yeah, Xavier's a young swimmer. He's at Caulfield. He really has got the will to win. He's done a lot of, he's had a lot of success nationally at age group level. So trying to, bring it to the big boys, really. He's got a chance here to do that because, we only have 3 heats. So if he can get in the top 3, he might stand a chance of being in the top 10 for the final.
And so final 50 metres here. Tegan, how do you finish it off?
Breaststroke's a tough one. It's such a leg-dominant stroke, so Daniel's doing a really nice job here of not slowing down. I know I would be done in this breaststroke. My legs would be absolutely burning, but Daniel has led us from start to finish, and like Sam said, really put together a nice breaststroke.
Yeah, classy performance. 2:13.86 by Daniel.
Yeah, that title holder last year, Adam Selwood won it in a 2:10.75. That could be in danger tonight.
In Kakaru, we had 2:19.67, followed in by Dax Conhetti. It says next 2:20.05.
But a fantastic 3-second PB from Xavier Eagle there, so he is one to watch for the future. A lot of success in breaststroke coming out of Caulfield. We have Thomas Sutherland representing Australia at the World Junior Championships in the 100 breaststroke.
In the pool and racing.
Yeah, Lucky Chan, he's also been very successful in his campaign for nationally. He's one to look out for. There's a very strong cohort of breaststrokers coming out of Victoria. It's very exciting for the future for next year's Commonwealth Games, perhaps.
Yeah, so lane 4 then, having a great start, Lachlan. It looks like his teammates from Nana are really chasing him.
Yeah, Byron Jang looks like he's really come up there. And also Harry Heath. Harry Heath also a young talent to watch out for. he's 16, Lockie Chan 19, and Byron Jang at 15 years of age.
Byron's new to this Open Championships event, but we have seen him absolutely smash it at Metros.
So Tegan, looking at Metros to, an open short course, what do you think the difference of the experience is from a swimmer's point of view?
I think the open athletes obviously just adapt much quicker to changes in swimming, like that crossover turn. We're seeing our open athletes really giving that a go. Our Metro swimmers shying away from that because it's a little bit of change in that IM. Whereas these open swimmers just take it on as a challenge and they adapt their swimming. It's really nice to see because they're always up to date with their knowledge. Their swimming's always changing. There's always new things to see in the pool. Looks like it will be Lachlan Chan there that touches in first with a 2:16.03. Harry Heath touching in second with a 2:18.49. And then Damon there touching in third with a 2:21.
As we come up to our final heat of 3, not as popular as the freestyle with all the heats that we've had here.
Just to note that we have the 800-metre freestyle coming up next. The 800-metre freestyle coming up next. Just a reminder that if you have a swimmer in this heat, you are required to supply the person to count your laps. So if you need to have someone to count your laps, please make your way down to the pool. Thank you.
Thomas Dale taking this 200 out. He's the most senior in this heat.
And so we were talking about the Metros versus now then the open short course. Tegan, you mentioned about the difference there from an athlete's perspective. Is it much more of a vast difference there for our country championship swimmers to then coming here today at MSAC?
Yeah, so I did my first countries a couple of weeks ago. So countries is a new thing for me. But I absolutely loved it. I thought the environment was so great and athletes supporting each other and different clubs really cheering each other on. I think the difference between countries and opens is, just the facilities. Like at MSAC, you've got your blocks with your kickers, you've got your backstroke ledges, you've got your timing, you've got your backup timing system. These athletes from our country pools don't necessarily have all of that at training.
Yeah, it is, a big facility here at MSAC, and one of Swimming Victoria's major sponsors actually is aquatic facility maintenance partner Mattioli. So if, anyone is looking for, pool maintenance, they are the guys to go to. Mattioli. They've got over 50 years experience in upgrading and building pools, so they're our go-to crew. Yeah.
Lane 4 there, Thomas Dale got quite a significant lead in this 200 breaststroke. Looks like he will take out the third and final heat of this event.
Yeah, he trains at Furbank. I think he's one of the few here from Furbank, so he'll be used to swimming out on his own in training.
I always hear about Furbank. We've got Nick Findyson, one of our other commentators.
Yes, that's right. He trained from there. Yes, he did.
As we finish up that final heat, which was heat number 3. Next up, we go to more our distance swimming. Here are your results first up. But upcoming is our women's 800-metre freestyle. We're going to have there are 2 finals, timed finals, but our first one here is this morning.
And we kick off event 18, our women's 800 metre freestyle. So we're heading into our distance events now. We do just have 3 athletes in the pool. We've got India, Zoe and Hope.
And so, Tegan, what do you think between the difference of a fully packed pool versus if it's just, 2 or 3 of you?
I really think pressure's on. They're really going to be racing each other here. Especially these girls in lane 4 and 5. Really going stroke for stroke in this first 100.
What do you think about the lap counting? Where are they beginning it? Are they looking up at the counters themselves? They're looking at the board. Where do you think their mind is going to?
It really depends. I mean, at countries this year, we looked a lot at our lap counting being a struggle for some of our athletes. So it's definitely a challenge. But for me personally, I always loved the lap counters. They're clear, they're in front of you, you can see it when you're turning, but some of these athletes might gravitate towards that scoreboard or just counting themselves, being in their own little worlds. Looks like we have a little bit of separation in our leaders here with lane 4 there, Zoe Gant. We've seen her race this morning already.
Yeah, it's good to see these girls. There's India Condon there from Surrey Park being watched by her new coach, Janelle Pallister. Janelle Pallister, obviously the mum and coach of Lani Pallister. She will be coming to talk to us this morning on the commentary team during the men's 1500 metres freestyle at the end of this. And, lots of experience in these distance swimming events. She was herself an Olympic finalist in the 800 metres freestyle. And Lani, obviously, if you're a fan of swimming, you'll have seen Lani swimming at the recent World Championships. Janelle down here now. She was at the Griffiths University Swimming Club on the Gold Coast, and now she is the head coach of the Surrey Park Swimming Club. So we're really lucky to have her coming down to Victoria to coach these new and up-and-coming distance swimmers. And this afternoon we see that Arika Ardenko is the fastest seed. She is from Surrey Park, only 15 years of age in that 800 metres freestyle time final this afternoon. So that will be a very, very interesting race to watch.
Definitely will be, with Zoe Gant here in 4. Her qualifying time 9:41.49. So these girls, as we said, they're chasing against their own times. They're versing themselves, whereas looking towards our very competitive final tonight. Yeah, Arika with that time qualifying is 8:52.84. So I think we'll be very hot in the pool this evening. Great to have Janelle down here. Hopefully she's warming up to the bit chilly weather compared to Queensland. But some fantastic experience and great leadership to bring into our coaching and to share knowledge. That's what we're about here at Swimming Victoria as well, as sharing knowledge and experiences. And you can't underestimate this race experience for these distance swimmers. Yes. How often do you get the chance to be able to perform like this?
Yeah, that's right. You don't really. At this level, the amount of times you actually get to compete at a club level in the 800 and 1500, a lot of competitions don't put on a distance event like that. So they have very little opportunity. And also a lot of these swimmers now are converting from pool swimming into the open water swimming genre. And we do have a very strong history of open water swimming here in Victoria, especially with the surf life-saving clubs, and down at the peninsula we have the lovely bay, which is calm most of the time. So to be able to be out there in the Port Phillip Bay here is a real a real boon for Victorian swimmers.
Absolutely. And so, Tegan, we're at the 425 metre mark, about to hit 450, so we're over halfway. What are you seeing in terms of the technique of the swimmers?
I think Zoe here has just lengthened that gap. She's not slowing down. She looks really smooth in the water, but quite good length to her stroke, which I'm loving to see.
How does one gain or practice that length in training?
Yeah, so I love doing the 450s low stroke count with my swimmers, you know, getting less and less strokes and having a conversation about, you know, what works, what doesn't work, what can we do to lengthen that stroke. Are we kicking more? Are we reaching more?
Yeah, in terms of then, you're looking at the length of the stroke. We're using so much of the upper body here in this distance swimming. The legs crucially are going to come in that final 100 metres. They're not there just yet. They're looking up, they're counting the laps. When you can't see your competitors out in front of you, do you think you're just keeping at your own pace?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because you're either in a position where you can't see the competitors next to you because you know that you're in front, or you can't see the competitors next to you because you're at the back. And sometimes it gets a little bit confusing depending on how much of a lead that you do have. So I'm sure she'll be trying to sneak in a look at that scoreboard right there. But Zoe is just creating an even bigger lead here. Started to incorporate those legs a little bit more.
Yeah, Zoe doing extremely well here in this first timed final. The faster qualified time final does happen tonight in our final session, which is very exciting. It is our first day of our Open Short Course Championships. And then Hope Christian in lane 3, she's still keeping at it. And we have in lane 5 as well, India Condon. 14 and 15-year-olds, the girls are aged.
Really loving Zoe's turns here. She's out after the 5 metre mark every single time she turns. And we don't want to go that whole 15 metres underwater here off every wall. Still got to keep some oxygen because it is a distance swim.
And so, Tegan, how would you be fueling for this distance swim, do you think, beforehand?
Good breakfast. A good breakfast.
What's our recommendation?
I always used to eat eggs. Eggs was really good for me before a distance swim. It really is based on how much time you have, though.
Because take us through, we're at the 700 mark, take us through the steps before they get to the pool for everyone at home here who may not know swimming. So you arrive at the pool, and then what happens? You get dropped off. Mum finds a park.
Yeah, parking's always a tricky one. So arriving at the pool and then getting into that warm-up about an hour before you're racing. So, following your coach's warm-up, whatever that is, it will be different for distance swimmers versus smaller distance swimmers. And then head up, eat something, and then head to marshalling. Now we do have self-marshalling now, so you don't have to stand in marshalling for hours and hours and hours. So just heading down about 15 minutes before your race, getting in the zone, standing behind that block, and then off and away you are.
And then all of a sudden, almost, 9.5 minutes later, you're at the end. It is Zoe, 9:31.54 for all that preparation. She's first in that time final. Second in Hope Christian, 9:37.30. Just like 6 seconds behind Zoe herself. And then India, we have 9:48.76. And so, fantastic PBs. That's 10 seconds from both the two first girls. That's quite incredible.
Next we have event 19, the men's 100 freestyle. So talking going from distance event to the Fast and the Furious. These guys are the fastest swimmers in the state. We'll get to see them in their heats this morning. We have James Ward back in the pool again from Caulfield and Classic with an entry time of a 47.67.
Yeah, this is always serious business, the 100-meter freestyle. A few more laps when it comes to our 25-meter pool here in short course. We're missing Kian Berger in lane 2, but we have our remaining excellent athletes. That was a great start by Ewan Smith in lane 8. But look at almost the 25-meter mark. It hits. It is James Ward steaming out in front.
11.04. You could do 4 of those. That's a 44 seconds.
While he is aiming 47.67, what is his qualifying time? He is the fastest. But yeah, holding up on the outside, Ewan Smith in the yellow cap.
Yeah, James had a bit of time in the States, so that's really helped his underwater work. When they swim yards out there, you have to be very good on those turns, but this is a bit of a battle for the finish in the middle lanes. James hangs on, 49.85. Sander Coates second, 49.89, and just missing going under that 50 seconds. Ash Nichols, 50.07.
Yeah, it was a great finish by our boys in the middle. Ewan Smith hanging on 50.74 for himself. And we'll be looking at the times in this next heat. Again, I think the final is going to come from multiple heats across this men's 100 free.
Yeah, it's such a competitive event to make the final. It's going to be in the low 50s, I would think. In there too, we have Nicholas Layton. He is also a multi-class swimmer, but swimming in this air and body race. Nicholas is hearing impaired. If you just see the light go off next to his lanes, that helps him to be able to start at the same time as everyone else, if not quicker. Look, Callum Haller and Lavelle, we've seen him this morning absolutely motoring along in the 100 IM. I think he was in the 50 back.
Yeah, I saw him coming out just at the start, and that was a wowee. Looking across the middle of the pool at the moment as well. The noise is a bit deafening from, all the power that's coming out of our 25-meter pool indoors here. As we come to the final 25, this is when it's going to get a little bit exciting for our heat. But beautiful turn there, Lachlan Jackett-Smith, who is going to come home nice and strong. Look at that stroke on the arm. Check out his time, 50.21. Second in this heat, 50.54. Callum Laval. It's paid off for him. That's looking around that finals time as well.
Yeah, we're looking at 50.67 from Sam Welsh. That's about the time you want to be beating to get into that final. There's three circular seeded heats. If you can come third, then you stand a chance of getting into that final. 9 swimmers.
Swimming is heat 3 of 7. And what a flying start there from Oliver McKenzie in lane 4. Will lead us in this first 50 with quite a significant lead in comparison to what we just saw in our other two heats.
Wow, he is looking strong at that lead at the halfway point here. I'm looking at lane 2 as well. Samuel Vaccaro, one of our visitors from NSAC. But yeah, Oliver McKenzie coming home strong. Looking at 7, Adonis is trying to chase him from Caulfield, as well as right next door, Bart Opperitz. But Oliver, bam, into the wall. That's a great time for 49.53. Guaranteed a posse in the final spot. And unsure about the others at this stage, but Bart followed. Then Adonis, and then we had Samuel, and then Aiden not doing too badly for himself over in lane 0 as well.
That's a huge PB for Adonis. So it's like, if you can take a second off in 100 freestyle, that's amazing. Here we go, heat 4 of 7. These are no longer the circular seeded heats, but we have William Tan is the fastest qualifier. Returning first, Alexander Hillman from Surrey Park. Breathe in, taking quite a long time to breathe, Alexander. You've got to try and get your breath and get your head back to the middle. So Xavier Purcell, he was in that 200 backstroke, and really he is having a blinder of a freestyle here. If he can hang on down this last 25, it's the outside smokers down this end of the pool. Well done, Xavier. 51.72. Second, Alexander Hillman, 52.72. And 53.43 from the fastest qualifier. So that is a 2-second PB from Xavier Purcell.
Heat 5. It is happening very quickly here, very close across the pool in this heat. Couldn't pick it, but it was Kenzie Kamaj in that first 25 meters, 3 to go. He is the one at the bottom of your screen watching. Up against him, Casey and Caden. And it is that battle below at the moment, halfway through. Picking up, we have Lewis Kreutzberger. All in previous races, these guys really pushing themselves as they come to this final 25, and they're all hunting that time. So Lewis is going to try and defend his qualifying time. He was the fastest out of this heat. But it is Kason Kamaj, 52.89. Followed by Lewis, 53.46, and then Caden was up next with 53.49.
In the middle lanes, we have 3, 4 and 5, all from Surrey Park. Andy Martinov, Alexander Buckland and Rowan Veen. Great turn there from lane 4. Alexander Buckland, he's really stretching out. He looks like he's looking over to his right. Seems pretty confident going into that turn.
Yeah, we love confidence. He's expelling it out, the Surrey Park swimmer, Alexander Buckland. Final 25. Both of his teammates, it's against Surrey Park here at the moment. Andy Alexander and Rowan, they know each other, but it is Alexander. 53.54. Andy got in next, 53.58. Rowan, 54.23. Followed in by Oliver Salmon, who's been having a great morning this morning in that 4th position in that final, in that heat. Final heat. Here we have our men's 100-meter freestyle. They have blitzed it in the pool here this morning. No middle lane swimmer. And it's quite close. I'm looking at Archie in 6 and Yizing in 7. Bringing it back to the middle lanes though, we've got Connor Hayes.
Yeah, Connor known for his distance swimming, so this will seem super fast and furious for him trying to get his stroke rate up.
Oh, wowee. Connor, Senna, Jesse all at the top, and Yixon down the bottom in 7. But Jesse looks like in that pass, in that final 10 meters, has put an extra kick in, and he's gotten that time in that heat at 54.42.
Kicking off event 21, the women's 50-meter breaststroke. So there is 11 heats in this one. So our 50s have been a bit of a popular one this morning.
Well, I believe we're in our 100-meter. We are just a fraction ahead of our 50-meter backstroke to come. So 6 heats in this one. Breaststroke is a very difficult stroke, isn't it?
Yeah, quite leg dominant, as we talked about in our 200-meter breaststroke before.
No, we're not. We can't hear it. I can hear it. It's up there. You reckon?
And what an incredible 100-meter swim here from Taya. Sorry, Alana. It looks like it will be Alana that touches in first with a 108.91.
She's had some fantastic swims this morning. 108.91 is the time. we're looking at the moment for the final tonight. In second for Rita, 1:13.08. And 1:13.54 for Grace Dolby. Imogen followed. Then Eve. But yeah, 1:08 is where it stands. Heat 2.
Yeah, we have Lily Kosh. She's not here this weekend. She has other priorities in Romania with the World Junior Swimming Championships. So she made the final in that 100 breaststroke. So looking very good for Victoria.
Yeah, it's great to have inspiration and athletes looking at the pathways as the crowd heats up a little bit here. As we come into our finish. Oh, apologies, that was our halfway mark, 50 metres, so many turns. And I want to know, Tegan, from up in the crowd, can the swimmers hear you saying, go, go?
No.
So it's for the expression of everyone else.
Yeah, I could never hear my coach on the sidelines, but as a coach, I still yell at my swimmers. It's just something we've got to do.
And it is a little bit of a battle that we have here between Zoe Schneider and we have in 6, Kelia enters, and it is Zoe 1:12.16, followed by Kelia 1:13.04. And then it was Zara 1:14.04 for their 100-meter heat for the breaststroke.
Two very different breaststrokes there from our lane, well, from our first and second place, I should say, sorry. So Zoe there opting for a nice high breaststroke, and Julia lowering her stroke a little bit, sitting nice and low in the water.
And so when we're looking at different breaststroke styles as we head into heat 3 here, do you think that comes from the athlete or do you think that comes more from the coach?
I think from the coach, but I also think, you know, playing to strengths and weaknesses. Like, is your upper body a weakness or is it a strength? If it's a strength, you're going to sit nice and high in the water. If it's a weakness, you might opt for a little bit lower.
And Sam, who are you looking at in this heat?
I'm looking at Lucy Marr. The key to good technique is if somebody makes it look really easy, you think, gee, they don't seem like they're trying. And that is just good, being able to hold the water. So having, as we say, good feel for the water. And that's how I feel about Lucy Marr. She just looks effortless when she swims.
And look at the matchup between lane 2 and 3. We've got Frances and Vera. They are neck and neck, and they were at the same stroke rate, almost synchronized swimming style. They've changed it up now as Lucy Marr, yes, looking very elongated and effortless as she comes towards the wall. That time is 1:12.31. That's a great time. That is making the finals time at this stage. And then in second position, we had down the bottom Kimberly Chen, 1:14.86. Followed in by Frances, then Vera, then Charlotte.
Yeah, Kimberly only 13 years of age and a 2-second PB there. All right, heat 4 of 6. Hitting the wall very closely, Amy Pruitt and Waylin Trong. Amy from Nunawading and also Waylin from Nunawading. Fantastic history of swimming and breaststroke swimming from the Another Bonding Swimming Club. Turning 35.64, so they'll be close to that 112 mark of the previous heat.
And Sam, what do you think when you verse a teammate and you are sitting at 1 and 2 in the race because you know them? Where are you going to get them?
Like I say, you try and keep with their rating and the rate of the stroke so that you keep pace with them. But I personally would be trying to get them on the turns, you know. And also in training, if you can turn better, then you're going to be, you know, catching them up. So that was a great race.
Well, Waylon did excellently in that race. And then second we had Amy, and then an excellent effort again as well to another swimmer at the top, Eliza Connolly in lane 0. But that time in that heat was Waylon, 1:15.37. Heat 5. Very close across the middle with lane 3, Sophie McKenzie extending out the 25-metre mark. She's done that in 15.74. Bottom of the pool as well in lane 8, Tess Izzard from Yarra Plenty, 13 years of age.
Yeah, and Chelsea Zhang, lane 0, only 12.
Only 12. We love our swimmers coming to get experience, particularly in opens. You can't simulate such race day that it provides.
Really good swim from Sophie McKenzie, South Gippsland Bass.
I'm from the country, so I love when the country
Yes.
clubs come and rival the city in opens.
Absolutely. And Dylan, the coach down to Dylan Moore at South Gippsland Bass, he really has been working on their breaststroke down there, so he's done a great job with Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie leading the way here. Has finished it off with a 1:13.08. Nicely done. Followed in by Tess Izzard, who was in lane 8, 1:14.41. Followed in by Miller. Maisie did a great job as well in our bottom lane in lane 9.
And our sixth and final heat away and racing. We do just have the 5 athletes in the pool with us. Great start there from our lane 5 swimmer, Lily Chan. Like it will be lane 5, Lily Chan, that holds on to that lead into this third 25. Again, opting for that lower stroke, so playing to her strengths and weaknesses here.
Yeah, she's got a nice whip kick. Bit of a race going on between the 2 and 3. Ava Thickens and Taryn Aldred. And into that final 5. Stretching out. 1:16.29. Pretty good time there. We'll be happy with that. 2-second PB.
I might quickly go to Lou then.
All right, we have event 21, women's 50 backstroke. Jessica Wilson, fastest entry time, lane 4. And she turns first. Jessie Steinman. Now at the Nunawading Swimming Club. These two are taking it out. 28.57, 29.03, and third Megan Lee, 29.92.
We kick off heat 2 of 11. Now again, some interesting starts there with our hands either on the outside of the block or inside of the block. It's like lane 7 will get her feet on the wall first. Abby there lead us into the first 50. Touches there with a 28.87. A fantastic time there from our lane 7 Summa Abbey.
Excellent reaction time from Alexandra Skinner there. In lane 4, she's taken this out. So followed by Mia Huller and Caitlin Ord. But yeah, the best of the underwaters comes from Alex there. Dive step finished 28.50, very nice. Mia Holler 29.49, and getting under that 30 mark, Caitlin Ord 29.96.
kick off heat 4 of 11. Pretty even across this start. Looks like we are going to be watching lane 4 and lane 5 here into that turn. Will be lane 4 Phoebe. Lane 6 is catching her though, and it looks like it might be lane 6 there that touches in first. Madison Cooper with a 36.5, taking out heat 4 of 11.
Great start there from lane 4, Vera Zhang on the Melbourne Swimming Club. She's up and about ahead of everyone else. Into that turn, feet open first, 15.31. Yeah, and she is getting her stroke rate up really high. Getting into that finish. Dives for it, 30.91. Second, Grace Richards, 31.34 from Surrey Park. And third, Elizabeth Mack from Vic Centre.
And we've got heat 6 in the water with us. It looks like our outside lane, lane 9 there. And a great start. There'll be a battle here between quite a few of our girls. Lane 9 having an excellent race there, but it looks like it might be lane 6. Sophie Ryan that takes out heat 6. The 31.01. Lane 9 there, closely following her with a 31.23.
Just waiting for some adjustments on the starting ledges or wedges,
so that all is fair and in order for our swimmers. Our technical officials do a fantastic job. They certainly do. And if you're ever interested in being a technical official, come and speak to our Swimming Victoria team.
Here we go, heat 7 of the 11. And an absolutely fantastic start there from lane 6. Chloe Ho from Ivanhoe, coached by Arco Izubuka.
It's a bit of a battle between Chloe and Ellie in 6 and 7 from Ivanhoe and Bendigo East.
Finishing there first, 31.85 with a good PB, 32.15 from Chloe Ho, and then third in the England, Julia Wozniak.
Victoria Dang doing an excellent job as we move into Heat 8.
Got lane 3, 12-year-old Claire Zhang.
That was an excellent start with Macy Smither from Melbourne in lane 4. It's quite a bit tight one across from lane 0 to 4 at the moment. It's going to come down to the turn. And looking at the bottom lane, in lane 9, we have Ruby Moore from DVE. She's just hanging on there as Smither in lane 4. Macy's going to complete it off, but not before Claire Zhang. Claire in lane 3, 32.46. Macy followed in, 32.47. Ruby in third position in that heat, 32.73.
Very popular event, this 50 back.
I think it's exciting.
It is a very exciting event.
Now, Sam, do you think it matters what lane you're positioned in here and what you're looking up towards the ceiling?
I don't think so, not in the 50 back. There's not much tactical advantage depending on what lane you're in. It's good though, lane 7 turns first, so Ayla Chanek, she, some close and some income, she'll feel pretty good that she's out in front and kind of pushing her competitors back with each stroke she does, so that will feel pretty good for her.
Yeah, Michaela from Geelong has been chasing her in that final 25, but it was Ayla 32.23, Michaela 32.95, and then Amber 33.36, followed by Bethany. I remember as a kid, you would always be worried about smashing your head on the back of the pool.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to count all of those strokes, don't you?
Yes, you do. It's even just not from the flags in. I always say count all the way if you really don't know. And then the good thing is you can look at the ceiling in here. When we're outside, sometimes there is no ceiling to look out at, so that is very hard. And some of these swimmers do really well from the country because a lot of them train outside, and to think they keep in such a straight line is marvellous.
And that was a fantastic start, first 25 by Alora Chan in 0. I want to give a shout out to Reese Gore. Her family is watching from Kenya. She is in lane 2 as we're coming in lane 6. Isabella Chung, 31.76 is her time, and Madison Marina from down the bottom, 32.14. And isn't that awesome that your family's watching from Kenya?
Absolutely brilliant. You know, it's like they're there. It must feel so good to have your family to be able to see you swim.
Yeah, and it's just on the Swimming Victoria YouTube channel that you can link in, so you can send the link to any of your family and friends if they can't be here today, or if they're in a completely different state, country, time zone. You can still be checking out your family and friends in the pool.
That's right. My parents watch from England, so yeah, they do. They love the swimming still all these years later.
That's awesome.
And they look out for my swimmers and my son's swimmers, their grandson's swimmers. So yeah,
that's so good. Community and support, that's what we're all about. And this is our final heat, heat 11. Brilliant start in lane 0 by Candice. Also in lane 2, Alyssa leading the way at the moment, but only just in 5 and 6. We've got Georgia and Holly flipping on the backs of their heels as well. It's Ava, but all the way in number 2, Alyssa, 32-7, followed by Candace, and then on the other side, Holly.
And next we have the men's 400 IM. There will only be one heat of this. The second heat will be a time final this evening. Thank goodness you don't have to do it twice, I would say, the 400.
Yeah, it's a decent event, we can say that. Let's go, guys. And here we go. This is our first time final for our 400 meters. I am 4 swimmers. Samuel Mills is in 3, Zayden Burton in 4, Cody Said in 5, and Daniel Atkinson in 6. Leading the way, Zayden Burton. That's 50 meters down. It is a tough event, isn't it?
Oh, very tough. Zayden had a great country throw in the 400 freestyle, and he also backed up 200 fly, 200 back. So he's really embraced these distance events and had a very successful countries up in Bendigo.
So Zayden coming from Traralgon.
Yeah, Cody said also from Traralgon, even though they've got different coloured hats on, it's the same team. Whether you choose the maroon or the white. Daniel Atkinson turns in 3rd from Oasis Otters.
And yeah, Sam, tell us how important is that turn, from butterfly to backstroke? And look, it's given him that lead.
Yeah, you do need to concentrate on your turn time, and it's very important because they all add up. But also at the same time, you kind of got to do a fast turn and take a little bit of rest and get a bit more oxygen if you can. So the more you practice, the more leeway you have in this 400 IM. So it is a very important turn. And you have to get your stroke rate up, as I've said before, going from fly to back, because it is a single arm alternating stroke. You need to get back into that sort of rhythm straight away for the backstroke. And the same will happen for this breaststroke. Once you get back into the timing and the rhythm of breaststroke, you've got to really settle in on those first 3 strokes off the turn.
Yeah, well, the 16-year-old Zayden Burton capitalising on the backstroke here. He is now 3 body lengths out in front as he hits the halfway mark, turning into the breaststroke leg. Following him by only just, we've got Daniel Atkinson, Samuel Mills, and then Cody Said. So it'll be an interesting little battle to come towards the end as Zayden is really gaining that space between them.
Yeah, and they've got a fantastic new facility in Traralgon, the 50-metre pool. We've had countries there, long course and short course. So they've got a great place to train. A lot of people come from the likes of Sale and travel to Traralgon every day to train, so that's quite a lot of mileage, but people from the country don't mind that, and it certainly is worth it for Zayden Burton here.
Well, we'll thank, mum, dad, parents, grandparents, whoever's taking care of the kids, because that is hours in the car and at the pool. How many hours of training would you say that these boys would be a week?
Oh yeah, definitely 16 to 18, because they're quite young, so you don't want to burn them out too quickly. But, some kids, they want to go as much as they want to go. So if they want to train 8 or 9 times a week, then that's good.
And you can't stop them.
No. Well, on the freestyle leg, just 4 more laps. At least instead of the 400 freestyle with the 400 IM, you're changing strokes so you can kind of keep count a lot better because you know you've done 4 laps of back. But
well, yeah, it's coming to the very end when your legs start to burn, but here's where you really need to turn up the gas and start cooking.
he looks really good though, Zayden. He looks like he's really in command of this. Just bringing his legs in now. Up this penultimate 25.
And here's the finisher that you got to keep going. You are going for that time, that other timed final tonight. We will find out. But Zayden wanting to beat the time of 4:46.53.
Oh, he's going to smash this. Good. Beautiful. 4:44.26. Daniel Atkinson storming down that final 25 for a 4:49.75. And Cody said 4:51.24, just touching out Samuel Mills. Just testing the timing system for this men's 50-metre breaststroke multi-class. We have in lane 7, our decorated Paralympian Ahmed Kelly. Once again, these swimmers going off their PB and the world record, so the nearest you get to the world record time, the more points you get. Ahmed looking very good, but out in front in lane 4, Dylan Logan. He's from Albany Creek, visitor.
There as well, you had a battle with Miles in lane 5, even though different classifications. SB 15 for Dylan, SB 19 for Miles. The time for Dylan 32.68, Miles 34.04, Mi Zhengpang 37.75. SB 14 is his classification. So well done to our swimmers, because as we said, it is all about that time against their own classification world record. So that was heat 1 of 2. Now second bunch of swimmers taking to the block.
We've got quite an age range in this next heat. 13 being our youngest qualifier.
Yeah, which is great to see. Dane from Geelong is 13 in lane 7. And then we've got Aaron Skinner, 33 from Geelong Sharks. SB 14, both of them, so they are directly competing against each other. But leading the charge, SB 15, is Samuel from Nuttawading, 26 years of age. Big push off the wall, and then flanking him either side. Both SB 19, so Andrew in 3 is versing directly Ben in 5, like we've had in a previous race as well. So awesome work to Sam. He's going to hit the wall, but be watching the other two directly against each other in their classification. And it was Ben who just got Andrew in that one. But well done to Sam with that time in that position, first in that heat, 31.08. And again, just reminding, it is up against that world record for all of our multi-class swimmers. Excellent job, guys.
Why did that happen?
Here we have event 25, women's 200 fly. We are in lane 4.
And here we go, Sam. This was your event.
Yes, it was. I swam many 200 fly.
Tell us about it. Why did you love it?
Just because of the, I always loved swimming butterfly. It just feels like you are flying, actually, you know. It's probably the nearest thing you can get to that. And, yeah, I just got success from a young age and went through to Olympic finals. So I was, I can't say I look forward to every race of it, but, you know, sometimes the event chooses you, you don't choose the event.
Yeah, what an experience and what a pathway that these girls can go through as well. It is all possible. You can dream and you can train hard to get there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's it. Talent only takes you so far, and then if you've got talent and you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. Especially nowadays with all the sports science support and, you know, the facilities we have and the race suits. So
yeah, and look at Mia.
looks great.
Halfway done. That is 100 metres. She is literally flying out in front. Close, not close, but close together in lane 6. We've got Isabella King. Just following from the other side of the pool in 2 and 3. We've got Mia Bates and Layla Mahfouz. Rihanna Chen is also trying to keep up with Isabella. But yeah, looking way too strong. Mia is swimming a race of her own. She has her final 50 metres to go. Look at her rhythm.
Yeah, she looks really good, Mia. She is turned there in a 1:36 when you've got a 34 point. So she's looking at about maybe a 2:12, 2:13 here. Sometimes it's hard to fly slow in a 200 fly, so you think, well, I may as well go out with good rhythm and see what time I can do. It's no good trying to swim slowly because sometimes your body position drops and it can really be a lot slower than you predicted. But there you go, 1:13.88, very good heat time there from Mia. Look forward to her hopefully getting under that 1:11.45 entry time tonight.
Right on to Rihanna Chen in second, Layla Mahfouz third. Nicely finished off by those girls.
Here, heat 2 here of 2. 14 swimmers looking for 10 spots in this final.
Yes, Sam, we were just saying what in a very impressive and incredible way, but what an exhausting event. 200 metres fly. What do the push-offs on every turn then mean to be able to get back into some power?
Yeah, it is important to get back into that rhythm and to not break sort of your rhythm with a slow turn. You've got to try and, once your lactate's sort of built up, you kind of want to keep that rhythm going and not stop, because once you do stop, that's when you hit the wall. So these girls, yeah, it's hard. The hard part of the turn in the 200 fly is the getting your knees up to your chest to get your feet onto the wall, because your abdominals, you use a lot of abdominal work on fly, and so they're getting really tired, and actually bringing your knees up to turn, you are burning in the abs.
And who's turning really well? Isabella Osborne. in that lead position. She is a body length out in front.
Yeah, she'll feel really good. Yeah.
Dakota Mathers in 6, and on the other side, Judy Hassan Aman. So, to clarify, Sam, the extra turns with it being short course is positive or more challenging?
I think more challenging. Yeah. I think in freestyle it's a bit of a help, but on fly, breaststroke, and somewhat backstroke, yeah, it's a lot harder. But for the foam strokes, fly and breast, when you are like bringing your knees up to be on the wall, it is a lot harder, I feel.
And we are in the final
Lovely.
50 metres. She is looking good, Isabella Osborne. Keen to see her time in 25 metres.
She's looking at about a 2:17, I think she'll do. But there's a bit of a race on from second and third.
Go, Jay.
16:32, very nice. Second, Judy, same. 18:9, and then Dakota Mathers coming back really strongly on that last 25 to 18:60.
Yeah, fantastic effort by all our girls. We're looking forward to, Isabella Osborne, who should be in that final tonight from that time. And that's what it's all about. The experience of finals, if you can get there. I know for a lot of people it will be their first finals crack tonight as we go to our event 26, the 50-metre breaststroke.
Yeah, we're going from the girls doing the hard yards on the 200 fly to the guys in the 50 breast, but what a great turn from Callum Lavelle there. Yeah, he's looking really great. Very technical swimmer, Callum. Beautiful finish, 28:35. Great time this morning.
Heat 2 away and swimming. Now we do have 9 heats of this event. It looks like it is a great start for lane 4, Daniel Cave. We know Daniel is quite the dominant breaststroker. Looks like he has an easy win on his hands here. And he will touch in first there with a 27.91, closely followed by Jacob in lane 3 with a 28.65.
Heat 3 of 9. Blanket start there. With Ash Nichols comes up the better. Lucky Chan also, these guys racing each other again, next to each other. Brandon Wilson also from Nunawading. Turns third. Oh, sorry, Shepperton. But it looks like Lucky Chan's going to take this out in a 28.34. Ash Nichols 28.93. And out in the outside lane, Alan Liang 29.31 from Camberwell.
Heat 4 in the water and racing. It seems quite common over these 50-metre events to start and have quite an even field, and they really pull away in that turn. We know how important that transition is from that first 25 to the second. Looks like it's been a great race here from lane 7, but lane 3 and 4 will not let him get away. Will be lane
Heat 5 of these 9 heats, only 0.5 of a second separating all these guys from 0 to 9. Great start though out in lane 0 by Peter Demetriades. I think he's going to touch first. No, second, Patrick Forster. He touches first from Swimland. So it's Patrick and Peter duking it out. It looks like Patrick's going to hold on and Peter's second. 30.31 from Leo Nolan, 30.98 from Peter Demetriades, and third, 31.56 from Caulfield, Bowie Jones.
We've had quite a number of PBs smashed across this morning, which is great to see. As we head into heat 6 of 9 for our 50-metre breaststroke. And it is a quick start to Alexander Hillman from Surrey Park, all the way up the top in lane 0, and down the bottom, Lucas Kay in 7. First on the turn, looking at the underwaters, and in the green shorts and the black cap. He's really taken advantage of that on the turn. Let's check out the time. Chasing him from the top as well, James Clare, but in a time of 30.36. Well done to Lucas Kay. 2 seconds off his qualifying time, which is awesome to see.
Heat 7. So we are nearing the end of this event. It looks like it will be our lane 8 Sumar that touches in first for that first 25. We always know we're looking at PBs when we see our outside lanes doing really well. It looks like at a last attempt to touch the wall first, lane 5. But it will be lane 8, Gabriel, that takes it out with a 31.61. But Flynn in the lane 5 with a 31.62. So literally nothing in it with those two boys.
Great to see so many heats for our 150-metre breaststroke. This is number 8. And very close from lanes 3 to lanes 8. Ayan in 8 at the 25-metre mark, looking at the underwaters, and then it's all going to come up to stroke rate and the glide that's going to be towards that wall. Ayan looking very strong in lane 5 as well. We have Chek Xing Jing And it is going to be Lachlan Bull, 31.80. And taking off a second off his time, 13-year-old from Nuttawading, followed in by Ayan. And then next we had Ryan Martin, who was in lane 6.
Our 9th and final heat in the pool. It is pretty even across this start. Will be lane 8 there. Leon that touches in first, leading us into the second 25. He did have the better of starts there, and will that be enough to hold on to that lead all the way through to the finish? It looks like it will be. He will touch in first with a 31.44, closely followed by Andrew Spencer in lane 7 with a 32.38.
And next we do move into event 28 for the women's 100-metre multi-class medley, individual medley. That is, and now I just want to give a shout out to UNCLOUD, the UNCLOUD campaign. They've partnered with Swimming Victoria and Vic Health to amplify this campaign for upcoming events across the short course season. It is to be aware of the rise of vaping within Australia over the past couple of years and the public health response emerging to tackle this complex issue. So get around the UNCLOUD campaign. As this is our first heat of 2 for our multi-class IM, and look, and in those first 2 lanes, Akuha, one of our visitors from Japan, in lane 4, SM1, taking on Meg Conhetti, SM19, 17 years old from Geelong, as they've already switched into the backstroke. Neck and neck with the same stroke. Synchronized up there for a couple of seconds, but Akuha leading the halfway mark.
Yeah, looking very strong. Great breaststroke pull out. And in lane 3, Alison Freely. She turns really well. She's from the Western Propulsion Swimming Club.
So being SM19, Alison's directly taking on Meg in 5, and also Abigail in 6 and Scarlett in 2. It's exciting when that happens in our pool. But who's pulled ahead? Akuha from Japan, 23 years of age. Her time, 1:10.02. Meg, 1:15.95. And then Alison is coming on in with the time of 1:22.49. And then the rest of our girls. But as we know, it's not just about the touch, it's about against the world record.
Abigail there with a 1:32.11 and had an excellent backstroke race. Abigail's really known for her backstroke events. And Phoebe there with a 1:43.37. Phoebe has had a change in coaches recently. It looks like it's paid off because she is racing at Opens and PBing in that first heat for her.
As our swimmers exit the water. One of our other partnerships we have at Swimming Victoria is Funky Trunks and Funkita. They've been major sponsors for years, 9 years. It's great to see all the fun colours around the pool that is Funky Trunks. You can go upstairs as well, just on almost the balcony area up on level 1 overlooking the outdoor pool. You can go and check out some of the swim merchandise they have there. As we're just standing down, this is for our second heat of the women's 100 metre IM multi-class. As our technical officials are just talking with one of our swimmers, Madeline Fox.
And heat 2 in the water and racing. Now, we know that opens can be quite a high pressure environment with all of this racing, and especially our multi-class swimmers that are doing back-to-back events. So it's really nice to see our athletes have so much support from their parents, their teammates, their coaches. We just saw some of our swimmers on the sidelines giving our athletes a little bit of a pep talk before they jumped in the water. Sometimes that's what you need to just get in the headspace and ready to race. And off to a flying start. There is lane 4. She's not slowing down in this breaststroke.
Yeah, that's Minami Kubo. SM15 is her classification from Japan. We just saw Akuha, her teammate, do a fantastic job in the previous heat. And she's coming on down in her final 25 metres in her freestyle. We'll be checking out her time. And then we have Jessica McDermott, SM19. In a little bit of a battle here with Evie Lee, also SM19, neck and neck. Let's check out their times. So Minami 1:12:32. And then it was Evie that just got it over Jessica. 1:264 to 1:2264 to 1:2280. Points of a second within that. Well done to both of the girls. We've then had Lisa Bale come in, Ruby Halliday, and finally Madeline Fox underneath the flags doing a fantastic job to finish off the swim. A great tap into the wall, 1:59.70. This is event 30, our women's 200-meter freestyle, heat 1.
Got Alana Torrance in here again. Her entry time 2:00.95. Everyone wants to get under that 1:59. Title holder last year, Tara Kinder, who represented Australia at the recent World Championships. So Alana taking this out really comfortably. And then it's a bit of a blanket from lane 5 to lane 9. Kira Jeffs at 14 years of age, now from Nunawading, and Manar Mahfouz next to her from Melton, having a nice little battle.
Yeah, and Jen Lane in 2 is keeping at it as well, 17 years of age from Caulfield with that bottom pack. But yeah, Alana showing us some class in the freestyle.
Yeah, Jen Lane, she's pretty much a distance freestyler, so she's doing very well to be out here with the pack at 100. So you can expect her to come back. Yeah, Kira Jeff's doing a great job attacking this first 25 of the second 100. But it looks like it's going to be Alana all the way. I'm sure she has a few finals tonight, so she's going to be conserving some of her energy, I should imagine.
And so, Sam, after the session here today, what do you think our athletes will then be doing to slow down? And a lot of these athletes, in particular in this race, will be in finals tonight in different events. What would they do to slow down and recover looking towards tonight?
Yeah, they'll be swimming down after every race, so they'll have a nice long swim down now after this final race, and then have something to eat, and then just go and rest. If you're at home or in a hotel, they'll just go and rest. Sometimes you can't sleep, you're too hyped up, so yeah, just doing something relaxing and taking your mind off the finals for tonight.
And that was Alana Torrance in a time of 1:59.42.
Good heat time, that under the 2-minute barrier this morning. You must be feeling really good.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it on the TV tonight then.
Yeah, looking forward to finals tonight. The pool is going to really heat up there with Kira Jeffs in that second position, 2:03.56.
We kick off heat 2 of the women's 200-meter freestyle. What a great start there from lane 4, Arabella.
Yeah, Arabella went on the next gen camp, so selected for that at the AIS. So she's one that Swimming Australia are looking to come through and be the next generation of swimmers for us. I say us, because they have got a British accent, but yeah.
You're an Aussie now.
I mean us, yeah, I mean us.
And Arabella there, just lengthening that lead that little bit more, really using those skills in her underwaters, making it past that 5-meter mark of every single turn.
Yeah, Arabella really trains exceptionally hard. Yeah, she's a wonderful personality in the squad at Caulfield. But looking to come up to her shoulder, Dakota Mathers is pushing on now. Also, Madison Brown from Nunawading pushing through. So it looks like it could be the 1, 2, 3 from these guys. But wow, looking very strong, Dakota.
Oh, she's almost in the takeover moment, and she has. Let's watch out as she capitalizes on this turn. Still neck and neck, but Mathers just out in front now.
And we talked a little bit before about how in that third 50 there'll be swimmers that bring it right back and use it as a little bit of a break, and other athletes that use it as their motivation to make that move. And that's exactly what Dakota's done here.
Yeah, Arabella coming back. She's brought her legs in. So even though it's the heats, it's about who gets the best lane allocation. So
Ooh.
great race between those two girls, 2:03.72 and 2:03.69 for Dakota to take that out. Third, Maddie Brand, 2:05.59.
I think this is going to be an exciting final tonight.
Certainly is. Because as you were saying, Tegan, it's more of a sprint these days, 200 free. It's less of a... it used to be known as a middle distance event, but really, yeah, these... And especially the strength we've got in Australia in the 200 freestyle, unbelievable.
Okay, here we are, heat number 3 of 4, 200-meter freestyle. How do you switch going from looking at it from a middle distance to then now more of a sprint?
I think the kind of training that you do, I think, you know, as coaches, we do a lot of lactate tolerance work, lots of, you know, faster, shorter repeats. Years ago, it was a lot of aerobic work, working at your anaerobic threshold and things like that. And I think we've learned to change that. And I think Australia are really at the forefront of that, training at that sort of sprint endurance work. And with people like, well, the top girls, they train together at St. Peter's, and boy oh boy, they train really fast over multiple short distances. So that's how it's changed.
And looking neck and neck is Arika and Zali in 3 and 4, keeping a nice pace between them. Zali just out in front at the 125-meter mark. So they've passed the halfway. Tegan, what are you seeing in terms of who's going to keep up with who? Do you think that Lucy Doyle can catch up to these two girls leading out in front?
Well, look, on paper, it looks like it should be a close race between these three girls. So it's almost playing out exactly how we thought it would looking at the program. But it looks like our lane foursomer there, she's just that little bit better on top of the water.
Yeah, Arika, though, she's got that built-up endurance from the 1500 and the open water work that she does. What a great race again at the end.
Yeah, so that was lane 4 with a 2:02.22. Then Arika there in second with a 2:02.71. Lucy Doyle following in third with a 2:06.33.
And they are times to get them into the final for tonight with our previous heat at the 2:03 mark. Here we go, heat 4. Our final heat of our shorter events for today, because remaining after this is our 1500 timed final. In the pool, we have our 4 swimmers. We have Hannah Ristig in 2:15 from Propulsion. Jamie Di Bizzotto, 15 from Vic Centre. In 5, Paige Holt, 19 from Bayside. And in 6, Dana Barnett, 18 from Propulsion. And so, Tegan, what do you think? I know that you can look at different athletes in different ways, but the age gap of the swimmers of 18 versus 15, because that's a breadth of experience that they haven't gained just yet in the pool.
Yeah, I think we're seeing our younger athletes come up and take on this Opens challenge. I think COVID really helped them do that. Some of our older athletes had a little bit of a break over that time. And Paige Holt here from Bayside, 19 years old, really taking that lead. Really loving how long she is in those freestyle arms. opting not to stay under the water too long. And making her move here, lane of 4. Jamie really trying to close that gap between her and Paige. And what a great swim Paige has put together here. She touches there with a 2:08.86. It is Jamie that follows with a 2:12.14. And then Hannah with a 2:14.52.
And that is it this morning for our Victorian Open Championships, our 2025-2026 UNCLOUD short course. Heat 1, Session 1 for today. It's been a great morning, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. We've seen PBs, we've seen, you know, in great times all round. So I think it's a really good sign for Victorian swimming, I've got to say.
Any standout swimmers, Tegan, this morning that you're looking forward to tonight in finals?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm looking forward to watching Daniel Cave and all of those breaststroke events. He really dominated those breaststroke swims this morning.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to be back here at MSAC. We'd love for you to join us here again at the pool or online on our Swimming Victoria YouTube channel, where it is going to heat up here. We'll be back at 5 p.m. to get excited and to chat more about swimming. See you then.
Bye.